We cooking or what, people? I am muted. I muted myself. Hello and welcome to Footy Judge More people. Big up everybody that is here. Man City lose. Arsenal lose. Liverpool top of the league deserved. Mohamed Salah is absolutely brilliant. But the crisis is that Arsenal fans are saying already Arteta out, which is absolutely crazy. Just to say that after 10 games. But Liverpool fans deserve to be top. To be honest with you guys, I know Rack is not here yet, but he deserves to be there. And Dio, because he's watching us from the left, deserves to be there. Big up everybody that's here. This is your Rivals Rumble show. We're here with Patrick, Souls, Jay, Dio, Mike, and Rack. We're going to have a brilliant and a fantastic and an amazing show, people, for you. Hit the like button if you're watching this now. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Of course, big up everybody that subscribed to MHF. We're actually on 8K at the current moment. Myself here, I'm on the way to 27K. So if you're new, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think in the chat. And I know Patrick doesn't have a lot, and I know Jay doesn't have a lot of time. But I just want to start quickly with Manchester City loss. Quickly, to give a touch on Manchester City's loss today. I watched both games. I know that not every Liverpool fan watched the game. They were watching their game, of course. But Patrick, today, horrific performance of some of the players, out-tactics by Areola. Quickly, give me the rundown for it. Can you hear us, Patrick? I think he's not here. Can anybody hear me?
Oh yeah, I hope it's not. Is it freezing? That can you hear me?
Freezing. You're really, yeah, it's freezing. Connection is not good, Patrick. Can you even come back?
Yeah, give me a minute. I'm gonna connect the cable right there.
All right.
Let me connect the cable. Give me a minute. Let me connect.
All right. But I'm not. Who watched the City game actually? Did it matter for anyone?
I saw it.
I watched it.
I'm not gonna lie. Once Arsenal lost, I didn't watch no football.
Nah, I watched it. It pissed me off even more. I don't know why I did it.
Why you pissed you off even more?
Because it's like, why do we always drop these opportunities, man? Always us. Always Arsenal.
But you played before City, so you
Nah,
know.
man,
That's why it's hindsight. Yeah.
No. But
Hindsight's
we never take
2020.
no. It doesn't matter, man. We never take advantage of these moments, even if it was the flip way around. If the thing is, City play first, we lose anyway because we just can't hack the pressure. But anyways, this is about Man City game, right? They got cooked. Let's be absolutely real. They got absolutely smoked today, right? Bournemouth could have beaten them like 5, 6, 7-0. Like it was absolutely humiliating tonight. They got absolutely lucky for it to be 2-1. That was not a 2-1 game. But for some reason, like obviously they just didn't.
Does that give you hope? Does that give you hope?
I mean, look, without Rodri being there, yeah, of course, like, you know, Rodri's a big piece of like how they win and control games. And so far they haven't been able to kind of, you know, find the solution for Rodri's, you know, they can't do anything until January, but they don't have a natural replacement for someone who brings the qualities. Now, the only thing that we're waiting for to see if Kevin De Bruyne comes back in and he can offer something that, you know, Rodri does, where the control comes back in, the attacking presence comes back in, because so far they look clueless when it comes to attacking. You know, they've not been able to score the goals. Haaland looks a loss since he told Arteta to stay humble. He's not been the same Haaland. Like, he missed a sitter today. Like that, Haaland scores, like you bet your house on Haaland scoring goals like that. But for some reason, recently in the last sort of 5, 6, 7 games, granted he scored a few goals. I'm not saying he's not completely scored, but he's not looked the same. You know, when obviously Savinho's been in and out with these little knocks and injuries. You know, they've not had Greenish in there, but Doku looks horrible. You know, Gavardio's their top goal scorer in the last sort of few games as well. That kind of just goes to show how bad they've been. You know, Stone's bailing them out a few times as well. But yeah, man, I don't know. Look, I mean, City fans are going to know better because they actually sit and watch and analyze the games. But for me, they need a solution to Rodri quick, because Pep at the moment hasn't been able to hack it. Does it give me hope? Yeah, of course. But then you've got the other juggernauts on top, like, you know, with Liverpool, who just seem to be going through this honeymoon period of just not knowing how to lose. So it's tough, man. Like, but today gave me a lot of hope. But Bournemouth did the same to us. Granted, we were 10 men down. We were down to 10 men. But
I'm gonna tell you something, to be honest. If City don't get 90 points this season and Arsenal don't win the league and Liverpool or City win the league less than 90 points. Yeah. No. If Liverpool and City win the league with less than 90 points, I don't know what I'm about. What I should say, to be honest. Bro, guys, City look bad. Without Rodri, look bad. Very bad.
Yeah, but again, it doesn't matter how bad they look because they're only 2 points behind. Like, City had every opportunity.
Because you haven't been great as well. You're winning games. You know the difference between you and you know the difference between City, Arsenal, and Liverpool. City and Liverpool have not been great, but they're racking up the points. Arsenal have not been good. Not like Arsenal. I was telling HUSAM on MHF. Arsenal last season at this point had 24 points. You have 18.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like Arsenal last season, we were saying they're slow. So at City, but City racked up the points, which is they're still doing, City. Maybe not at the same rate. The only team from these three that are not racking up the points are Arsenal. City, yes, they lost. This is the first loss in 2024. So yeah, I'm going to give them leeway today.
Second.
First.
Second loss. Well, first in the Premier League, but it's
first in the Premier League. I'm talking the Premier League.
Look. At the end of the
day, but seriously, it's like, I know there's a meltdown from City fans about Rodri and everything. But also at the same time, it's not like Arsenal are racking up the points and running away with it.
Yeah, but nobody.
But Mo, when we lost to Bournemouth away with 10 men, you were saying to me, "Oh, how
they were horrific today. It could have been 5-0.
That's my point. So why is it? Oh, we're just letting City.
We're not letting them off the hook.
No one's letting them off.
Look, bro, you watched me. I was on the football terrace. I literally. On the football terrace, I ripped Hamza apart when he's arguing and talked about injuries, bro.
But Hamza's a different breed. Everyone wants to rip him apart because the guy
injuries. I know Patrick doesn't do like agendas and stuff. Guys, Ake, they told us he's amazing defender. Gavardiol, Akanji, Kyle Walker was a manager's choice because Rico Lewis was on the bench. So it's a manager's choice. That's a manager got it wrong. Kovacic has been amazing. Gundogan, the treble winner Gundogan. Phil Foden, the best player in the league. Bernardo Silva, world class. Erling Haaland and Matthias Nunes, who every one of Man City fans asked for him to start. Man City had no excuses today.
They had
outplayed, out-tactics. They had injuries, yes. He had no options off the bench. But the starting 11, bro, they looked bad from the first minute, bro. Patrick, am I wrong?
Yeah, but look, you also have to remember this. As much as people want to come in and say, City this, he did say himself that, first of all, Josko was being tweeted after the game. Walker hasn't trained apparently in 20. Well, he said how many days Walker has been out, and he just obviously that was the manager's choice. That's his own fault. Why are you putting Walker if he hasn't played for a long time? Ake apparently is not fully fit. So look, it's a City squad that's a bit tired, but I'm not going to use that as an excuse. All I can say is Ever
You just
since,
did,
ever
though.
since. No, chill. Are these two Arsenal fans?
Out there, and I'm just saying, you pull it out there,
No,
and
no,
then you
no,
said,
no,
I'm
no,
not
no,
going to
no.
use it
No,
as an excuse.
what I'm trying to say is, as bad as Man City right now, where there's people who are half injured or half fit, is regardless when the team was fully fit, obviously without Rodri, I still say to most of my Man City friends who don't like me, by the way, because apparently I speak the truth sometimes. I see the defeat that's coming because this small team, especially like Ipswich, they're scoring first. Southampton, we're scraping through Southampton. Who scrapes through Southampton? I say something is coming where one of these small teams is not gonna miss. They're gonna score. Let's be honest. If you've been watching Man City this season, since Rodri got injured, even before Rodri got injured, when he came back, there's been a thing where we concede first, we have to come back, or we are so lucky that the other team is not finishing. And I said it in one of the Man City groups, and I was at work today. I watched the game highlights, and I watched the game the second half, obviously a few minutes. I told guys, I was like, Bournemouth are very strong at home. They're going to cook us. We got cooked. And let's be honest, we deserve that cooking. And there's nobody who can come here as a City fan and say, oh, we didn't deserve it, this and that. Now, one thing about Hamza, which I'm going to give Hamza, as bad as people, we all try to control Hamza most times, Hamza was right about one thing. Hamza went on the football test. Hamza came on this channel. And guess what Hamza said? Hamza said, this squad over here lacks an extra DM and lacks midfielders with legs who are younger. And he wasn't wrong. If you look at it right now, this particular team. No, I'm serious. This particular team.
Why is that someone else's problem? You have the best coach in the world.
I know, but get my point. I'm saying when Hamza said that, people were laughing at him and a lot of people went after him. But he's right. Because even if what Pep Guardiola has said that, oh, KDB comes back, so-and-so comes back, I'm sorry, that midfield is too slow. And City fans, we're going to have to hold the L. I already said it, or we already agreed on another channel. City fans, we're going to have to...
I'm not letting you have that.
Oh,
because
wait,
the problem with the City... No, because the problem... No, 1 second. Why? The reason why I'm not letting you have that...
this. I have a point. No. Let me finish. I have a point. We're going to have to hold the L on Gundogan. Why? Because City fans, we cried for Gundogan. We wrote emails. We wrote texts on Twitter, bring us back Gundogan. What did the board do? The board looked at that and said, oh, we're not going to go after Bruno Guimaraes. These guys look like they'll be happy with Gundogan. So City fans, we are all crying about Gundogan, saying he's washed. Gundogan is done. That's an L for City fans. Take that L and we all have to accept it because we wanted Gundogan. And Gundogan looks like the legs are gone. So I'm accepting that. So it is what it is. You go ahead. What do you want to say?
The reason why I'm not letting you waffle on about these like one or two players here is because when Liverpool and Arsenal bottled the league, or like didn't win the league for a consistent period, when we had these injuries, when we had one or two players out, you guys weren't listening. You guys wanted to say we bottled the lead, we bottled this, we bottled that. But now Man City, all of a sudden, no, I'm just saying generally from City fans. I don't know you specifically because obviously we haven't spoken too much, but I'm just talking generally from City fans and rivals. When Liverpool and Arsenal have had one or two players out, they weren't willing to listen to the context there. So why is it one or two players that City are allowed to have this little blip?
Look, let me be honest with you. Mo knows I'm shameless. Agendas must agenda. When Saliba got injured, I was one of the City fans who went after you guys and said no excuses. You can come at me with that. Agendas must agenda. I'm shameless. I will agenda. And right now, when Arsenal lost, I smiled. I smiled at work. And even my boss asked, what are you laughing at? I was like, something has just happened that has made me happy. Agendas must agenda. I love agendas. You guys can come after us, but I'm just saying that City team, whoever is lying to themselves that if January we don't get a DM, I don't see that City team doing anything. Their legs are gone in that midfield. So it is what it is.
You can talk about injuries and you can talk about legs all you want. It still doesn't change the fact that regardless of how outplayed you were at moments in this game, and regardless of how many Bournemouth could have scored, you had multiple opportunities to equalize. If not, take the lead. Phil Foden's shot in the 94th minute. He needs to do better there. For the caliber of player that Phil Foden is, when you have that shot, you need to be that guy. When Erling Haaland has a sitter directly in front of the goal, you have to be that guy. Like, we can sit here and we can make excuses, but ultimately, you had chances on plate and you pushed the dish away. You decided to say, no, I'm not hungry. I don't want it.
Can I ask you something? Did you watch the game? Did you watch the game?
I was watching it as I was watching Liverpool. So, not fully attentively.
Look, I watched the second half, and according to some of the guys who told me about the first half, we can just show a few things. Is somebody said, one of my city friends from England, he lives in Manchester, is like we didn't deserve anything out of that game. Even the chances we had,
You
are
would
those
have
chances
scammed
that
the
you should do it.
point. Yeah, you would have scammed the point if you got the equalizer.
But the
Oh,
thing
yeah,
is,
but
that
it would have been
I
a
can
scam.
turn
It
around
would have been a scam, bro.
I could turn around and say the same exact thing about Liverpool today against Brighton. If you look at that first half, we had no
No,
business.
even the
winning this
second.
game.
I'm sorry, even the second half. This game could have ended 7-2 or 7-1, bro. To Bournemouth.
was
Bournemouth
bad.
were 4. But it was horrific from City. The defense was wide open.
I'm
If it
not
wasn't
saying
for
that they were
Ederson
good.
as well, come on.
I'm not saying
somebody-
they're good. I'm not saying that they were good. I'm just saying that no matter, even with how
You know, the
shit
problem
you
is-
played, you still had chances to equalize this game. Chances that
Yeah,
should have
but-
been finished.
But those are could have chances. Are those like okay? Look, I get
Erling
it.
Haaland does
No,
not
no,
have
no.
chance. Foden
No,
does
no,
not
yeah,
have chance. It
Haaland-
was a free
You know
shot.
what, you know what,
Haaland
you know what
at
I
the
mean
end.
by that? It's like a team like City has to create so many chances, like good chances. But this is just there's an opportunity. It happens. That's when you miss. You're too
Haaland was
desperate.
still edged. That
No,
could
but
have drawn the game.
Patrick, I
Haaland
watched the game.
absolute Sitter.
Yeah, it was a sitter. Foden missed the sitter as well. Foden missed a clear sitter, like an empty net. He could have just. tapped
What
that
do you think overall for the City team?
I just think that look, just like what happened to Arsenal today, I just think you guys were outplayed. Exactly what happened. Bournemouth outplayed.
Yes.
That's all
Thank
it was. There's
you.
no-
Thank you.
no-
Go
it's
talk
like
about
when-
it. Yes.
Like when everybody's like, yeah, players are allowed to have their off days. You know, teams are allowed to have their bad days. You had your bad day in the office. Bournemouth had a very good day in the office. Bournemouth almost scored in the first minute. Your keeper saved you 2 saves in the first minute. Bournemouth almost scored.
And
from
that's been
kickoff.
happening all season. Teams are just
Yeah,
scoring in the
that's
first
what
minute.
they've been doing. Yeah, in the first minute, they almost scored. Thank God, Edison saved you in the first minute, and Semenyo's goal, when he turned around and kicked it as well, was just a few minutes after that happened again. So for me, like, you know, it's just like what happened with us today. We were outplayed. You were outplayed. It wasn't about anything. And the thing about it is, I heard Hamza, I've heard other City fans, I've seen stuff on Twitter who are trying to make excuses, and I'm like, there's no excuse here, right? If you play Haaland, you had Silva on your team, you had Doku come off the bench, you had Guardiola. I mean, Edison, you guys, everybody on your team today will get into any team in the Premier League. All the players that you played today, will be a first team player in any other.
Yeah, thank you. Oh my God, the waffle I was eating on the football terrace, bro.
Everybody who
oh
started
my
from-
God.
So for
Every
me,
single player we're told is amazing. But then injuries, bro, just
yeah.
stop
But
this.
the thing is, though,
For
like
me,
if you
like,
go,
Let you finish. I want that, but I wanted to because it's not only me then.
No. Because if you go through that starting 11, 8 or 9 of their players are actually their starting players.
Thank you.
I know,
Go
but
ahead,
I'm
Doyle.
also even saying 8 or 9 of them, and every other Oscar Bob starts in any other Premier. I said Oscar Bob, but what's his name? Rico Lewis starts in any other Premier League team. Like these are not players that will not start anywhere else. So my thing is like they fielded a strong team, but Bournemouth, Areola, give that man his flowers right now. He's
Can I ask everyone in the panel a question? Yeah, let me ask one. Did City lose today because of City, or Bournemouth was just so good for City today at their home?
Bournemouth was just good. Bournemouth was good at home. That's all it was. It was clear. Bournemouth was good. Way. Bournemouth was off the park. Look, Bournemouth almost scored in the first minute. I'm saying this. People don't realize. Like I watched that game. I turned it on, turned around to pick up my coffee, and all I had to see was Edison making a double save.
Yes.
In the first 60 seconds, Edison making a double save. Second one with his feet. And I'm like, hold on, is this how this is going to be all day? And that's exactly how it was for 90 minutes. It just looked like City did not have an answer to what Bournemouth brought to the table today. And, you know, what's fair is fair. Football is football, man. Bournemouth.
If City don't do business, by the way, this midfield of Bernardo, Kovacic, Gundogan is not going to survive.
No, but here's the
They're not
thing.
going to survive the top game.
Here's the thing as well. We know the quality that they have, and we know the manager that they
Kevin
have.
De Bruyne. I'm just going to say it again.
We know that
Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah, and we know that
Kevin De
City,
Bruyne.
listen, Mo, we know that City, right? All it takes is for them to pick up that second gear and they just start to coast. We all know this. Forget how we can criticize today's game in isolation. In isolation today, they were terrible. We can criticize that. But we know for a fact that the minute they get into second gear and Haaland starts scoring those stupid hat tricks back to back, it's going to become 10 games back to back with 7 of them Haaland scoring hat tricks and City just going off on a tangent. That's it, So, but in isolation, today's game, I just didn't understand what happened with them. It was a total collapse. So yeah, Bournemouth were very good. I would not even say it was a total collapse. They just didn't have any answer for how Bournemouth was set up.
Yeah, Bournemouth was so good. People just afraid of giving Bournemouth the praise. They were so good. What, you want to say something, Jay? I know.
Nah, just have we got to say now that the Bournemouth manager is making it a hard place to go because everyone's going
But
there.
we said that. I said that about
It's becoming. Yeah, you got to put some respect on his name because, even when we played them, we didn't look good at the start and even up to the red card. So there's something that this manager's doing that, he's got to get some praise for, man. But I'm just pissed.
Yeah, in isolation, you can look at this game and praise Bournemouth because they really set up very well. But we cannot write City off. That's the thing that I'm telling you. Like when everybody is saying, "Oh yeah, well this way City is," you can't sit here and write City off based off this one game. It will be the most.
What we need to do is take advantage until January. That's part of the thing.
Yeah,
you are not taking advantage. Didn't you just get slapped?
No. I just
you're missing the point.
I didn't say we will.
He didn't say what you
Bro,
need.
And hold on.
No.
We didn't get slapped.
You lost.
Hold on. Yeah, but there's a difference. We lost
There's
against
no difference.
Newcastle.
But you lost.
Hold on. We lost against Newcastle away. You lost against Bournemouth. I know we lost against them, but we had 10 men. That's all I'm going to say.
How many points are you below the top on the league?
5 or 6.
Like
Seven
now.
Yeah. My friends, you and us right now.
Patrick knew the answer to that question before you asked it.
Yeah,
look, each guy said,
I know. You know what? You and us are one of those people who are getting beaten, and then we've met each other at the pub, and we're laughing. Oh, at least I didn't get beaten that much.
That's not what we're talking about right now.
You're the one that just
both of us.
Patrick. Mo asked the question about today's game. So,
but hold on.
Hold on. Sorry, James. So, giving our opinions about today's game in isolation and saying other teams need to take advantage now whenever a team like City drops points.
Is it including you?
No. Yeah, exactly. Including we needed to have taken it, but we didn't. That's why he said you need to. He didn't say, "Oh, you will take advantage," like we would be able to do it.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I thought you said you would take advantage.
We need to take advantage of it.
So the big difference is people who are writing City off right now don't know anything. I've simply said this in isolation today. Every player that you played today will make any Premier League team. Everybody, you're starting 11, get into any Premier League. No, hold on. Where I'm going with this is not out. I'm not trying to banter City or anything. City
I know you're serious.
City had a terrible day at the office, which you would not expect from the quality of players that they put on the pitch. Bournemouth had a phenomenal day at the office with the quality of players that they put on the pitch. Bournemouth had 5 of their first starting 11 out, injured. People don't know this. They have 5 other players that could have been in there. In fact,
what happened to Rack? Rack joined and then left.
In fact, the guy who they saw
is drinking wine.
Celebrating, man.
He doesn't care about City. The
Bournemouth player who came in, he's coming in. This is first.
He's eating.
His first Premier League game ever since his injury. That's how depleted they also are. But nobody talks about that. So that's why I said for me, today was Bournemouth. They did what they needed to do to get their 3 points, and they're making their home a tough place for anybody to go to. That's what it's become. We have to call a spade and not a garden.
Okay, so to wrap up the City part, just quickly, do we overanalyze this game or we don't? Because all I am hearing is that, a loss, but we know that when City hit the second gear, do we overanalyze this game or we shouldn't?
I think what we need to do is we need to see whether it becomes a pattern. Because at the moment, even though they have been getting results and they've been getting wins, the flaws in the team have been consistent. So whether they can match those flaws with those sort of talented players like a Haaland getting a goal, or someone covering it up, or a Gvardiol screamer, or whether KDB comes back and he can start doing what he does, or whether Phil Foden comes back and starts doing what he did last season, where he carried them through a few patches of the season. I think if they continue to have these flaws and it starts to rack up to results or drop points, then yes, we can start to analyze it. I don't think it's fair, and I don't think it'd be honest for me to sit here and go, it's a massive have a meltdown and banter them and say, ha, you've got all these issues and you're never going to do anything. No, it's one game where they've actually been exposed. So let's just see if it's a pattern, because Pep isn't one of those managers who's going to let it happen again.
It is a pattern, though.
well, I
Isn't it?
think
Because
yeah.
in the fixtures we've been exposed a lot, and we were lucky.
Yeah,
I remember I
Fulham.
said, Fulham we were lucky, and even Pep said it. Oh, we were lucky; they were the better side. And then
Which is what I said. If it becomes like a
Luck is
I know, but it was a pattern, and we were getting lucky.
Part of the game.
Yeah.
Luck is part of the game, and you do make your own luck.
Yeah, but you don't do it in all the games.
No, you don't do it in all. So you might be having a bad spell of games, right? But one thing that City has already done pre the beginning of the season is doing the 4-piece has put fear in a lot of teams. Let me tell you that regardless of how bad you are, because it is Man City, there is a certain level of we have to be more conservative. There's that, so there's that little fear factor that you have to into consideration with most of these.
Have you seen our games? Have you seen our games?
No, I've seen your games.
I have seen every game. I've seen every game, Patrick.
We've been lucky. We've been lucky, haven't we?
I agree.
Yeah, you haven't been. You have been lucky. Yes.
You've been lucky. I agree. I'm saying I criticize. I can criticize the quality of your play on the pitch after you have finished playing. But whenever you are lining up and you're seeing the lineup of City against some of these other small teams, automatically in your mind, you're like, well, when Bournemouth scored the first goal, I guarantee you 98% of people said City will come back and still get something out of this. I guarantee you.
Actually, live on stream, I watched the Arsenal debrief after on the terrace. During the game, Bournemouth have gone 1-0 up, and all the Arsenal fans who were on at the time. Don't worry, they're gonna, City are gonna come back and win 5-1. That was literally the words that came out.
Because City, you've got down.
Justifiably so. Most people, I'm not blaming Arsenal fans. I'm saying that most people, because City have done it so many times, not just this year, but over the last 5 or 6 years, most people expect it in their mind. They think, okay, 1-0, but City is still there.
Even the loss track, everyone is saying, well, I'm not going to count them out. I can't. Doesn't matter.
The problem is, Mo, not last season, the season before, first half of the season, I was like, what is going on with City? This City doesn't look right. Doesn't look right. Yes, Haaland scoring a few goals, but you weren't playing well. And I said to my nephew, who's an Arsenal fan, I was like, guys, you can do it, man. You can win the league. I genuinely thought Arsenal, because Arsenal playing really good.
So you gave him false hope.
Yeah. Patrick, you know how we do it. Yeah, you know how we do it. Anyway, so I genuinely thought Arsenal were there to win the league because City weren't the same team.
I also believe that.
And then what happened? Then City went and won the treble. So, I can understand to some extent why people have PTSD for some reason. But I think what we can say is City this season, especially when you go back, like you said, to the Fulham game, that was a bad game. And
Rodri's not coming back. Like last season, Rodri had to come back. This time, Rodri's not coming back.
Deo, you said one thing. You make your own luck, but also sometimes your luck runs out.
Yeah, luck does run out. No, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that at this time where you're playing badly and you're getting lucky and getting those points, it's a good thing for City. That's all I was saying about that. Yeah. Because eventually, when your luck runs out, I see that Pep would have fixed all the kinks. Like he would have been able to figure out because if Kevin De Bruyne gets back, he was on the bench today, but he just didn't play him. Why? Because probably they said because he's not fit enough. I don't think any manager will put an injured player on the bench. If he's not ready,
this in Africa,
fine, but regardless,
not Africa. It's not the Egyptian. It's not the Egyptian league. It's not. I know it's not the Egyptian league or the Moroccan league.
Let me tell you
the Ghanaian league, bro.
Let me tell you this. Let me say this. This is a side story. Nigerian league, a team loaned a player. They loaned a player from another club, right? So the player was on loan at their club, and they sold him.
What?
Yes, I loaned the player to my club and I sold that.
They sold the other team's player.
Yeah.
It's actually someone who actually as well. The one who told it very funny.
It was Worry. I think it was Worry Wolves.
No, it was Iobi said.
I'm saying the name of the team.
Iobi is the one who said. Seriously, Iobi said it. They loaned the player to a team. That team sold the player, sold his card to another team and took the money.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go back to our conversation.
I know that Foden is the most protected guy. We have to have a conversation. he is someone that hasn't been on at his best this season. There are personal issues or whatever things that happen off the pitch, but also we cannot keep giving him leeway. If this is Salah or Saka or Palmer, he has to be criticized. We asked the question, once Kevin De Bruyne leaves the club, is it going to be Phil Foden carrying Man City? I said no.
He carried it last season.
No, he didn't.
He carried us last season.
De Bruyne
Come
played
on.
season, had 18 assists.
I know, but talking about Foden in big games, Foden in certain games helped us. But let's be honest. Look.
The difference was De Bruyne was there with him. That's why we're saying when De Bruyne ain't there. At the end. But now it's start of the season. No De Bruyne. It's looking like it's all going to shit.
Look. Let me be honest with you. I made a video and say that Foden, you have to prove something to us in the Euros, because I know you've cooked. It's good you've cooked it for City. It's time you do something in the Euros, and he failed. And ever since then, obviously, he had his personal issues. Same as Walker, same as Grealish. Apparently, Grealish is not actually injured. Grealish is dealing with some stuff. It's just Foden. I know that.
Does he want to have a single life like Bruno Guimaraes? Or that's
no, that's not Bruno. That's not Bruno. That's Enzo Fernandez.
That's Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez. Yeah.
But, you know what? I can also say Foden father tax. You know, he's got 2 kids.
It's a funny shit I've seen in my life.
Okay, look, let's just be honest. Foden this season has not been great. And I think I had a conversation with the City fan today who was claiming to me that I'm actually being very harsh on him. I was like, yeah, I'm being harsh on him because he's a star. You guys, we call him our star. So we have to be harsh on him. He's not cooking. It's not great. Even today, if Foden is not there, I put James McAtee. Why don't I just play James McAtee? Do you get what I mean? In many games when Foden has been there, I said, why don't you just give it to James McAtee? Because McAtee is also very great.
Because the thing is, Foden has done it before, and you just hope that he.
Salah,
I know.
Mr. One and One, exactly. Salah, Mr. Manager is not going to sub him out. The moment it's there,
Patrick, you're better off having the players on the pitch who give you a higher GA than bringing in somebody just because they're talented. Like, because they've done it before. If that little gap opens, we've seen games where Haaland touches the ball 3 times and scores twice. He doesn't have to be that effective. The bottom line of this game is to put the ball in the back of the net, right?
So you're telling me that he can stink and stay there?
No, I'm not saying he can stink and stay there. I'm saying that your options of saying, okay, well, I know he can do it. I don't know why he's thinking right now. Pulling him out is one option. Bringing in the talented player is another option. Okay, fine. Let's see if you can do it. But the point is, I would rather have 3 of my top GA output players still on the pitch because I know they know how to do it, and try to get them to work it and work with him to be able to get to the point I need to get to win the game.
Do you know what it is with Foden though? Like, from my opinion, I mean, it could be early to say, but he doesn't have the stars around him now. He has to carry this team. Whereas before, he had Rodri, he had Gundogan, he had like Mahrez, he has, other players.
Before KDB came back,
but he had some of them.
But he still had people around him last season. Like, he still had these he still had key components in that team where if he's slacking in an area, he can be covered up for. Whereas with now, he has to perform because he has no safety net. And this is the first time we're seeing Foden come into a Man City team where he has no safety net. It's him or nothing. And that's, I think, what he's suffering from. Now, it's only a few might be an adjustment period.
So maybe it's going to be, he'll improve in a few games.
You know that he's just throwing him in now, isn't it? Before he wasn't playing him, and apparently he was missing. Okay, obviously, I don't know the private stuff. People keep telling me that's why he was missing. But I'm just saying, I think his form is going to come on board. But let's be honest, I think more is judging him from the Euros. From the Euros, I'm questioning for him that you haven't been great since the Euros. After you just won that play of the season, you just
I think you also need to if you did this to Saka or anybody else, I always like to put context. I have to put context for Foden, so I have to be fair.
Go ahead. Yeah.
In the system where he thrived last season, there were key pieces, just like what Saul's just said right now. And when those key pieces are not there, it takes a player time to adjust to it. This might be an adjustment period. So we should not sit here and just say, "Oh, Foden is done," because
what's missing is Rodri, though.
No. Everything around him, that De Bruyne, the wingers, the coverage, everything around him. That's what he means.
No. Listen. I know, but listen, hold on. But
I think you guys are overanalyzing this.
Patrick, towards the end of last season, when KDB
we shouldn't overanalyze it.
KDB came back and Rodri was there. You saw how Foden went up another level again. The end of last season, Foden went up another level, and I'm saying Foden carried like he was really shining.
Before KDB, he was the one who was scoring the important goals.
He was. I'm not saying he wasn't, but all I'm saying is when you change the system, sometimes even talented players need time to readjust themselves and figure out what's going on.
Wait,
So
this
might be that.
I'm not going to buy into all this talk. Like Phil Foden had chances today to score goals. He's not been good enough recently. It's that simple. There is no overanalyzation. It's not about Rodri. The reason why City look bad without Rodri is because teams can dice them up on the counter. You saw it against Young Boys last season in the Champions League in December. Like that's what when Rodri's gone, that's what you allow. You allow teams to cut you up like butter on the counter. And if the team is good enough on the day, they score. And if the team's not good enough on the day, they don't score. And fortunately for Manchester City, most of the time they don't score. Phil Foden right now, at the end of the day, you can sit here and talk about all this banter and all this chest. Fans like to talk with chest and say that this guy's the man, this guy's the man. Foden just is not performing right now. He's not good enough at the
which is what I'm saying. His overall form is what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking. The context for his overall form. He's not scoring open goal chances. Of course, I have to criticize that. Any player,
but he still had chances.
Yeah, he still had chances today. Yeah, like even with his run of form, he still had chances. Like I criticize him for not tapping the ball in the net. That I can point out. But I'm saying the context on why he is looking, probably the way he's looking on the ball continuously right now, is probably because he doesn't have those pieces around him. I just
disagree with that. I just disagree with that, Dio. I don't think it's down to anyone else.
It's fair. That's fair. It's fair. Everybody has
when you take away safety nets from players, right, such as a Rodri, such as like other key components, it means that they have no way to take a risk. Now, if Foden, like for example, makes a pass that he might have made or felt comfortable doing because he knows Rodri will clear up after him if he does misplace the pass or if he does misplace a shot, he doesn't have that anymore. So is he overthinking? This is why I'm saying that now because he's lost those main cogs, is he not that? I'm not saying he doesn't have the quality. Is it going to take him time, or is it a factor of he needs that safety net to be comfortable doing it?
He just came back.
The thing is,
Been playing first team in 6 years. Isn't he the one that everyone keeps telling me you want
you guys are making it sound like you're making it sound like Foden didn't do anything.
An objective conversation. Are we? What are we doing here, guys?
No,
there's no time.
Come back. He just came back. He wasn't being playing.
Right, but he doesn't do anything for England either. Every time he gets an opportunity,
conversation. Everyone's shit for England. England sucks.
No, they're not. They're not though. They're not everyone shit. That's a myth. That's a narrative that you guys.
I want to ask. Okay, to end this, guys, we're trying to have a very objective conversation. I know this is Rivals Rumble, but I love this conversation. It's actually a very objective conversation. Normally, it's very hard to have it with 7 people on the panel. But are you not entertained? There's over 1,000 people here, and we aren't even on 300 likes. The minimum likes is 500. Guys, hit that like button. Helps the channel. Helps the algorithm. I'm gonna ask a question before I do soup chats, guys. Is he going to be the main guy at City?
He is.
I know that nobody sees the future, but looking at Phil Foden, can he be a Palmer for City? Can he be a Vinny? Can he be a Saka for Arsenal? But can he be that guy for a team like Man City? Because Pep Guardiola is going to go at some point this year, next year. Is Foden going to be the guy like what David Silva was? You know what I mean? Like when Aguero was. You know, I know they had a lot of players, but they always had that standout player like a Kevin De Bruyne. And I want the people in the chat, yes or no, do we think in the future, he's still 23 years old or 24, is he going to be the main guy? The guy that carried the team to win a title, a Champions League, the go-to guy? If you say yes or no, I want to know why.
He has the potential to.
Yeah.
But based on, like, he has the potential, but based on what he's currently doing in terms of output, putting the goal in the back of the net, or, you know, assisting someone to put the goal in the back of the net. This season, based on right now, on his current form, no. But to sit here and say that he doesn't have the potential to do that, I think is crazy, because we've seen what he looks like when he's in form. We've seen what he looks like when he can put the team on his back. He can do it. The question is, will he do it? And like ultimately, that's just something that only time can tell. We're only going to be able to find that out when he becomes the guy.
Where does the manager's part play here? Because we know Pep is a system man. And again, I say this, like, if I have to look at Foden and his career and how good I think he is, because I rate him. I rate Phil Foden. Let's not play games here. If he was under another manager that would allow him express himself, I say, you know what? I'm not going to put you and box you in my system. I think he can be that guy easily.
Yeah,
Easily.
do you remember what
So-
Pep said? By the way, let me say something. I don't like look, Foden, the reason why we're having this conversation, we all know he's a baller. The reason why we talk about Saka at Arsenal, even though sometimes we have agendas saying he's useless, he's a baller. The reason why we're talking about Palmer now, it's hard for me to say that, but because he's balling. The thing about Foden is, and apparently about Pep's system is, Pep said something about Jesus, Foden, and he said it about Savio recently, and I was like, he even said about Palmer. He said Foden has to learn to calm down and not be a free spirit and not play football like a street guy. When Foden first came to City, Foden used to like to dribble, take people on, and obviously be free, because he's from the streets. He says he likes playing street ball. When Jesus came, same thing. What these two guys have just said is, especially Dio, is I just have a feeling that only last season I saw it for the first time and I was shocked. I was like, where has Pep now just given freedom to Foden to just collect the ball down the middle? But guess what? When he wants to do something else in a game, like a certain game where he wants control, he used to take Foden out of the middle and put him at the wing. And then when there's a certain game at the end of the season, when it got desperate, where KDB was not there, where there was no much midfielders, Silva was thinking as a midfielder, was not in good form, he gave Foden the keys. Foden was free to express himself. Sometimes Pep is very controlling. You can also see for Jack Grealish. I still believe till the date of the day, if another manager gives Jack Grealish the freedom at City as a 10, we'll see the same Jack Grealish we see at Aston Villa. But guess what? Jack told the media, Pep puts me on the wings and he tells me to hold on to the ball as much as I can to draw people. I'm not trying to make excuses for Foden. I'm just saying there is a baller in there. But sometimes also, as I said at the Euros, Foden, you need to be accountable. When you're given an opportunity, you need to show. But I think Foden can still become the main guy at City. But in time will tell. We never know. But to be honest with you, he was the main guy last season. That's why all the players, even including Rodri, said, look, I am good, but Foden helped us this season. That's all I can say.
Let me do the super chat so we can absolutely, guys, over 1,000 people here again. I'm going to repeat that. Let's get to 500. Shout out my Buckies. Buckeyes.
Buckeyes.
Shout out Buckeyes.
College football. College football.
Buckeyes. Okay, I don't watch college. I don't watch football anyway. But AMG Gunnar, thank you.
What team?
I know where you're from.
What team is the Buckeyes?
Ohio State University.
Ohio State. On them.
College football is a
Big
massive
up the
thing, man.
Buckeyes.
On them to take advantage of our L. Only one did, Liverpool, which is why we have to have a conversation about that. But I appreciate you. Omar is saying Marmoush, 12 GA, 12 goals, 9 assists. Peach of a free kick today. Egyptian guy. He might go to Liverpool in the January. We'll see how that goes, Omar. There's a lot of rumors about this. Mohamed Salah responds to haters on the pitch. Mohamed Salah is phenomenal. I knew once he had space and he's stooping in and showing him his ass, you know what is happening. You know the
He
cut
pulled
inside and the goal. You knew what is happening, right? He had the
Pulled an
space,
Andy Robertson.
and
Pulled an
stooping
Andy
in doesn't
Robertson.
know when to turn. He showed the ass.
More. Is it? Are you also not just adding country tax on the top? I know that Salah is
100%. You have no idea how much I screamed when Mohamed Salah scored. You would think I'm a Liverpool fan. You have no idea how much I like the guy.
Would you scream if he scored
You
against
have
Inter?
no idea how much I like
If you
Mohamed
scored
Salah.
against Inter, if you scored against Inter, would you scream?
Never celebrate, bro. Never celebrate. No, of course not.
Okay.
Because at the end, he's not my cousin. He's just a countryman. He's not my cousin, bro. Who cares about him, bro? I'm just celebrating an Egyptian man tearing it apart in the Premier League. You guys know this. No, you guys don't know this. Egyptians were not blessed with the Drogbas and an Eto's like all the other Cameroonians and the Ghanaians.
I'm in your camp.
You get
there.
it? Like people think, people actually don't understand.
Though.
Like for example, like when I was in Egypt and I spoke to the Ivorian guy that used to come to Al Azhar to like study and stuff, they were like, why do you guys celebrate like me do scoring? And I'm like, you guys are freaking Yaya Toure and Kolo Toure and Drogba. We have nobody. So for me, Mohamed Salah is like the best I've seen in the Premier League is Mido from Egypt. You know, Mido.
Oh,
if people
all right.
remember who Mido is.
Mo's going to be a trendsetter. He's going to be a trendsetter. There'll be many more. After Mohamed Salah.
People don't understand this.
There might be a gap.
Tanya said, I think Saka was limping today. We're going to talk about it. And Tanya. So the big up Tanya. Always comes with the jokes.
But yeah.
And Jad, big up Jod 19 for the first super chat. This is Klopp handle situation all over again. Pep has his favorites like Walker and Gundogan. Clueless tactically, no point extended. Better start rebuild. What?
Quite a bit harsh.
Don't be.
First
Hold
of all,
on.
first of all,
That's a City fan saying Pep out.
Is that a City fan though? Is that a City fan?
What do you think?
Ah. Are you serious though?
But-
Like, guys, come on. I don't know.
And if you don't
Pep
want
out
to
is crazy.
bring him to the Emirates. Bring him to the Emirates. I'll take it.
Okay, so I'm not
I'll
going to
take
make
him. I'll take him. I'll take him.
I'm not going to make excuses for Pep, right? But you guys only have 13 senior players that are fit right now. City
Yes.
has a lot. So what do you want Pep to do? I agree, Pep is the greatest manager right now in our generation, like that I have seen in my time. He's one of the greatest managers I've seen manage a team. But when you have that many injuries and you go into games, I still expect you to win, but I have to give context to the fact that you have a lot of injured players. So what is this? Even as a City fan, what's he saying about favorites? If the people who are fit are the ones he puts on the pitch, and then you now label them his favorites just because
Where is he going to pick up another midfielder?
you know. So I would say nah. I would say nah. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not a City fan. I'm just speaking objectively.
And you know what? This thing
Every
about managers' favourites as well. Like Liverpool fans have done this. Every fan base does this. But inevitably, if you're a manager, you will have players who you trust more for whatever reason, because over a period of time, they've done it for you. They do what they want. They follow your instructions on the pitch. Maybe off the pitch. All this kind of stuff. Managers are inevitably going to have favourites, right? They're going to have players they trust. Okay, I understand. I presume what he's actually saying is that Pep is not picking players based on performances. He's picking players based on history. I don't know whether there's always a possibility of that happening, but that's human nature as well. Like, if you just want to have a robot's not going to motivate players and not going to come up with the technical plans and all this kind of stuff. So you got to accept it as if you want to have a human being managing your club.
It's crazy when I see statements like that, because to me it just says you're only saying this because you have seen what has happened with the result, the hindsight. In hindsight, that's why you're not saying this. You're saying, oh yeah, Pep, blah blah blah. This the minute Bournemouth scored the first goal, I guarantee you that same City fan was saying, now we're going to come back and smack them 4-1. That same guy with that same lineup. But as time went on and the game ended, now you turn around and then you say, oh yeah, well, Pep had his favorites and that he's setting up, we need a whole rebuild. Like, you can't be, that's just being reactionary to me as far as I'm concerned, So yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
It is what it is.
Why are Arsenal fans try to act like today was just an off day? We have been calling it out that you just rely on set pieces goals versus Spurs, Liverpool, remember Atalanta as well.
Well, we haven't spoken about it yet.
We haven't
many of
spoken.
them play
Blaze,
go-
I'm going to keep the super chat. Blaze, I'm going to respond to the super chat right away, Blaze. Thank you so much. I just wanted to give a shout out to Mo. W's for my guy, Nelot Pal, for dropping the super chat. Thank you so much for it. Shout out to Mo and his content. Thank you for mentioning me last week on my opinion on this channel. And Mo, now who's scary? Liverpool are scary, of course, with Mohamed Salah.
No, we're not going there.
No,
Bro,
we're not- wait. How does Mo get to change
Liverpool
every
should and have to win the league.
Mo?
Liverpool
bro, hold on.
I'm
Mo,
not any
hold on.
about my
Hold
team.
on, Jay. Hold on. I released a video 3 weeks ago. The title was Liverpool is scary 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, and you probably had a
I
title
never
with
released. I never
scary.
said that Arsenal are scary.
Have you
You
said
will
City's
go
scary?
to my channel. Never go to my
So,
channel.
for this season, you
Go
ain't
to
said
my
they're
channel.
scary.
If you find me at a one this season that saying a statement that Arsenal are scary, you got me there. I
Okay,
said
so
Liverpool are scary.
let me
only.
ask you a question.
So
Let me ask
going
you a
off your
question.
hold on. So going off your logic, Mo, we're not scary.
And also this
You ain't gotta worry
scary
about
thing, the scary thing at the current moment.
I'm just saying in general, if you ain't put a
No,
title,
no,
saying
you're not
you
scary,
ain't
of
gotta-
course. You're absolutely not.
Wait, so
Absolutely
Mo,
not. No.
I'm remember this.
Since Liverpool,
Remember
Please,
that. Yeah,
I will.
100%. That is
I
it.
will.
Can we stop saying that we're scary?
Hold on. Hold on.
No,
Hold
I have a
on.
question. I have a question
Yeah,
for Mo. I have a
yes.
question for
Win the
Mo.
league.
I have a
What?
question for Mo.
Bro, it's 3 games on the bounce. You collected 1 point in the Premier League. it can go to you can go to Inter. Forget the Champions League. You're gonna qualify. Are you favorites against Chelsea, Jay? Answer me this.
What is it? Away to
You are
Chelsea?
playing Chelsea away at the Bridge.
Oh,
Right
Are you
now,
favorites to win the game?
right now, if we're going off our record at the Bridge,
could be
I
dicey.
kind of put us a little
I
bit
just want a
favourites,
simple
'cause
answer, Jay.
We ain't
I just
lost
want a simple
there in
answer.
like what 4 years or something.
Doing a lot of
Yeah,
dancing.
since 218.
No,
I want a
I'm just
simple
saying.
since 218.
I tell
218.
you, we're favourites.
I'm
yes,
telling
yes,
you.
we're favourites.
Hold on.
For me,
All right
we're
then.
favourites. Just
Okay,
because
so-
of our record that we've
And
had there in
here's the
past
thing.
couple
My opinion, looking at both teams now, I think Arsenal are not gonna win against Chelsea. That's logically speaking. It has nothing to do with record. It has everything here is analyzing Arsenal games, the way you play, the absentees, and the way you have been playing in the last 2 months or a month and a half, right? If you go and win the game emphatically, that means Arsenal fixed up. But
So-
are there? Okay, hold on. Let me finish this because you wanna go
Mo,
to
we'll
Arsenal.
we will have certain players back by then as well. So I do think
Only Odegaard.
Yes,
What is
enough
the
for the
evidence?
factor.
What is the evidence before we speak about today's game that Arsenal fans have in the history to go back to and say, yes, we are starting to fix up now. This is it. Can someone tell me why
Okay,
do I
let me-
need
let me-
as a content
let
creator
me
to say
tell
it?
you,
I'm back
ask
Arsenal.
that question. Let me answer that question. We've seen how badly Arsenal has played without Martin Odegaard. That is one factor, right? That has been a factor consistently since he got injured in how we have performed. Yes or no? Do you agree? I need a response first.
Yes.
Good. So now, are you saying that if he gets back? No. I need a response because I want. You have to-
Yeah, 100%. Listen,
yeah,
I'm a very yes or no answer guy.
Yeah, so my,
Yes.
my point is, if he comes back and we play well in our next game and we win that next game, is that not fixing up? Because
Is he gonna be fully fit though?
100
Hold on,
let me
hold on.
answer.
Let me finish. Because just the same way we've talked about Rodri and how important he is to Man City and the difference he makes. The same way we talked about KD being like not being there and the difference it makes to the team. For us, that is someone that makes a difference in our team. So if you're asking about fixing up, if he comes back into the team, which we expect him to by the next game, and we play better with more control, creating more chances and putting them away like we were doing last season, is that not fixing up? Yes or no?
Is he gonna be fully fit though?
We
said-
don't know.
who
This.
said-
I'm just saying.
yeah,
I'm just
who
saying.
said-
You know,
who said he's even coming back?
Can I respond? Am I allowed to respond?
No,
Yeah,
respond,
no,
Mr. Mo.
Everyone said that he was back against Newcastle. So all this, we know when he's and Odegaard will be back. Let's leave that out, man, because it's just
Yeah.
jarring, bro.
Wait,
He's
can
coming
I-
back.
can
No, we
I-
don't know when he comes back. When he comes back, he'll be back, bro. All this
Mo-
predicting. You lot predict.
Nobody's making a prediction. We're talking about the question Mo just
but
asked. Mo
Dio-
asked the question. I gave an
Yeah,
answer.
and you
is
just
Odegaard-
said- Hold on.
Mo
You just
simply
said.
said. Mo simply
hold
said
on.
again. What's Mo's question? Repeat Mo's question, Jay.
Hold on.
Repeat-
You just
repeat Mo's
said
question.
Odegaard will
Jay,
be.
repeat
You
Mo's
just
question.
said. Hold on.
Repeat
Hold
Mo's
on.
question before you repeat my
Hold
answer.
on.
You both
You
are rattled for no reason, by
Right,
the
I'm
way.
not
Right,
rattled.
right,
I'm
right.
just answering him a question.
One at a
You
time.
just-
Dio, Jay, we can hear. So Jay, go ahead. Jay, go ahead.
All I'm saying is you just said, you can't say that more because we're gonna have players back
That's
like
not what I said.
Odegaard. You
His
said we're gonna
my
have
response-
Odegaard
he
back.
said- what was the question? What was I responding to? His question was, what can he point at to say Arsenal is trying to fix up to play better? And I said, having key players back is a factor to us being able to play better. That will show that we're fixing up. So
And then you said Odegaard's gonna be back.
and I
Don't
give-
leave that out.
And hold on,
That
and I
point
gave the
doesn't-
example of Odegaard saying in other teams when key players are out, we give them
Oh, that-
context, right? But now when it's our turn, and I'm
That
saying,
is
okay, you have to give
crazy.
context to
Dio,
us. You want to
stop,
make
man.
Okay,
nonsense out of
but
it.
Dio, you're just
Big up, Patrick.
by
This guy's
doing
Patrick has
that.
to go, guys. Thank
Yeah.
you, Patrick. for doing it.
Big up,
Can I just say-
Wait,
Can I just say-
before I go.
If
Before I
Patrick
go-
is leaving, right? Let him.
Wait,
Let him.
all,
just-
all I want to say before I go is, Dio, maybe this guy is right because you're trying to play a prophecy here. So maybe just
No,
say,
I'm not playing prophecy. He's asking what are the things you need to do to fix up, and I said we need.
No,
key
I
players
didn't
back.
ask that. I didn't ask that. By the way, I didn't. That was
You
not my
said- you said-
question.
okay, what was your question?
I'm
I'm
going.
Mm.
Patrick, I don't want to say Patrick. Look after yourself, brother.
Look
yeah,
after yourself, Patrick.
Yeah, big up to you, sir.
Yes,
I'll call
Habibi,
you
thank
Patrick.
you. Yes.
Yes, go on, repeat your question because now you're saying that's not your
But
question.
after
Maybe
all
I
this
didn't
waffle,
understand
Dio, and then you
it.
tell me repeat the question.
Maybe I didn't understand your question then because the answer I gave you was for a team to fix up, you need key players back. Simply, that's all I'm saying.
My
That's
point
what-
about this is that what evidence do we have to Arsenal will fix up? I know people talk about last season, and the 16 games you played. But maybe that was the anomaly. When Rak said earlier that, yes, City this and City that, but we have seen enough years, enough times where City say, okay, now we turn it on. We won a treble. Last season, we win. Arsenal don't have that enough credit in the bank for me to say Arsenal will turn it around. And I'm going to follow this by one point. Last season, and I said that on MHF, Arsenal at this point, they were controlled, right? A lot of people said Arsenal were boring. You remember in the beginning of the season? But you guys were racking up the points. That is the difference in this season and last season. Last season, you were not far from the pack. You weren't playing great, like City as well, but you guys were second. You were 2 points behind City at this stage, 10 games in, 24 points, right? That is the difference. This season, it's 18 points. You already dropped points in half your games. Last season, it was already 3 draws. You never lost a game, by the way. You know, in the first 10 games, you know, we lose 1 game. And the second thing, Dai, I'm going to say, the defense this season individually doesn't look the same. And we talk tactics and stuff because, and maybe, and I said that to HUSAM as well. I don't want to get everyone's opinion. I don't want to like take over the show or anything. But the reality is, Arteta reverted to dropping deep and defending compact and defending in bulks the majority of the games for circumstances or not. But the 3 games you opened up, you played high. Today, Isak, free header, and Gordon, free cross, right? Between the 2 center backs. And individually, the center backs failed today to mark Isak. Against Leicester, you can say, oh yeah, the Justin goal was away from goal and everything. But last season, Arsenal doesn't leave James Justin to have that free of a shot in the far post. And against Southampton, it's the same. Arsenal this season, apart from the PSG game, were not able to defend individually like last season. Like Saliba last season was fantastic reading the game. Gabriel was amazing reading the game, being proactive defenders. This season, Arteta, every time he opened up, he conceded chances. Even against Aston Villa, you conceded chances. That is my point. That's the difference between Arsenal last season and Arsenal this season. Only these 10 games. That your defense is not bailing you out. Your defense is not giving you chances this season enough for you to go. They gave you chances when you defended deep against Spurs. You stayed in the game until the set piece came in, and then you won the game. But in a game today like this, when you're chasing the game, you didn't have chances. You didn't have enough chances defensively or offensively. That is my take on it.
It's not necessarily the defense that's been bailing us out. I think what people are misunderstanding as well is Odegaard was one of the biggest pressers from the front. He was defending from the front, which alleviated a lot of pressure from the defense as well. Now, the part of the problem that we've got currently with Arteta right now, and the reason why I am going to point at Arteta for these sort of 10 games, he's not had the balls to do what was the right decision. He's wanted to persist with Leandro Trossard. The problem with Arteta is he doesn't want to win. He wants to win whilst crediting Mikel Arteta. It's like, I won. Not Arsenal won. Not that these players won. It's Mikel Arteta that won.
Wow.
He wants to be the main character and make decisions that really impact it. Because think about it, the whole world, his haters, his lovers, his biggest supporters, his kids, his wife, everyone was saying, get Trossard off the pitch. In his head, I'll tell you what was going through his head today. He was like, if that's what they want to see, I'm going to do the opposite and show them, right? I can win this without listening to the opinion.
A lot of presumption.
And the reason why I say this comes back to the defense is when you're number 10 or your creative player who's meant to be the most technically secure on the system front, who's the one that's creating, the one that's controlling tempo, is the one giving the ball away so much, what's going to happen? The back line is going to be under so much more pressure to turn it over again and again and again and again. Because that player that you're supposed to have as the tempo controller, as the sort of dictator in the team, isn't doing that. All they're doing is giving the ball away, churning possession away. And that's part of the biggest problem. We've not had a natural 10 playing the 10. What he's done is he's built the house, he's renovated the house, he's spent money on building this house and said, actually, let's just demolish it. And that's kind of what's been happening. The system wasn't a problem. All he had to do was take Odegaard out, obviously being injured, and put like an Ethan Nowari in. If that's the number 10 you trust of keeping the team because you wanted to sell Fabio Vieira and ESR, that's your decision to make. Now, what you need to do is have the balls to then just go and play Ethan and play the 10. That will alleviate and bring back every problem that we've had in the system.
But you're making an assumption that an 18-year-old who had a great performance against the League One team is the solution.
It's a profile problem. Because when you play a position, especially in a number 10, that's meant to be a dictator. We don't have a dictator. We don't have a creator. We don't have someone who can just calm the game
Okay,
down
fine.
or change the tempo of the game. Because what we've done is
So then
we've decided to play
counter-question.
a play. Yeah.
Okay, so my counter question to you would then be, if you're trying to play the same way that you would play with Martin Odegaard, and you don't have Odegaard, and you haven't had Odegaard for the foreseeable future, why didn't you change the way that you play through the midfield? For instance, against Liverpool.
That's what he's trying to do. But the problem with that is he's taken out a key component to what a balanced team looks like. You need controllers. You need a dictator. You need a tempo controller. If you don't have that, this is what happens. Your defense looks exposed. Your midfield looks exposed. You don't have a natural.
You're telling me
pressure
one
in the
player,
midfield.
Souls, you're telling me one player will affect the game like this?
No,
Souls,
it's-
come on, just
it can though. It can, because who else dictates?
That's
tempo?
on the manager then.
No, one player does not.
I think it's a bigger issue than just your
But
10.
hold
You
on,
only have one
you know,
good
and
offensive
again,
player
Jay's,
right now.
hold on, I want to get Jay's opinion, but I'm gonna put one word then. You know what I'm hearing now? It's the same as Saliba when he was injured 2 seasons ago, when you dropped after Saliba got injured.
No, but
Yeah,
the difference. No. It's not about excuse. I'm not
Let me get Jay.
What?
Go ahead.
All right, let me wrap up the point that I was trying to make.
Yes.
It's not about making excuses or the Saliba situation. The Saliba one, the reason why a lot of people can let Arteta off is at least he played a centre back. The problem that we've got is he's not even playing a midfielder in midfield.
So who does that fall back on? The manager. Why are you playing Ethan? Why?
That's the point I'm making. That's the point I've made. Is that the manager just doesn't have the balls. He did have the balls to kick out the players in the summer and say Fabio Vieira isn't good enough and ESR isn't good enough. But guess what I'm going to do? Because my ego feels... Jason Cundy was perfectly right in what he said. He has an ego problem. Right?
But
What would happen? What would happen?
Can I get Jay? I want to get Jay's opinion, guys. Crack.
Okay,
Jay hasn't
go,
spoken
go,
about
go.
Arsenal. Sorry, just
Go.
Yeah, nah, I'm pissed. I can't lie. Literally, from I say the first 20 minutes, we was kind of in the game, but even when we were in the game, we didn't really have any like clear-cut chances. And then Newcastle went down the other end, and literally that cross from Gordon. I'm blaming Gabriel. He could have been better positioned, but I feel like that ball was just such a good ball. Like if it does anyone else feel that? The ball from Gordon.
It was peach, mate. That was a perfect cross.
It was a perfect ball. So, okay, sorry. But yeah, when Mo's saying, the defenders failed to mark Isak today, I get it with the goal, but I don't think that any other defenders that would have been there would have been able to do anything about it. It was just such a good ball. But on the whole team, you got to big up Newcastle, man. The way they set up today, you got to give it to Eddie, because at the start of the season, they had like a little shaky period, and then everyone's up. Is he the right man? And then he's starting to turn it around. They're climbing up the table. So you got to big him up for that one. But for me, couple players today, the only player that could stand up today for me is Saka.
No, Party as well.
Party. Why would you say Party?
The reason why I say Party is because even at right back, he locked down his position, but he was one of the only ones who was trying to make things happen from right back as well, like breaking the lines, trying to connect something and coming to midfield and actually try. And David Ray, because it could have been 5-0 without David Ray.
Yeah, no, but Ray is just understandable. For me, the couple of balls across the box, Havertz, I've been bigging this guy up. I've been saying, he's going to get this, he's going to get that. But it comes a period where I'm just like, bro, I'm bigging you up every time. That ball across the box that just went flash. I'm looking. But so do you reckon that falls back on Arteta? He's telling
100%.
Havertz to always go to the right.
The reason why I say it is because he's telling Trossard and Havertz to both drop deep, but then also stay forward. So it's like, which one do you want them to do? You've got to give one the responsibility to drop deep. Because you can see in the game, Trossard's also dropping deep, and then Havertz also has to drop deep. So then no one's really in the box. That's a system problem.
We saw Isak drop deep today and then get on the end of the cross. Why can't Havertz do that?
It's
that
a different
ball across
problem.
the
He's
box.
not quick enough. He's not quick enough.
I'm not buying that.
I just watched that goal. That beautiful header, by the way, and a great cross. Yeah, it was nice. But I don't know. The thing is, you don't need to be super fast if you've got the movement, if you've got the brains. And
No. But if you're being told to drop deep and go forward, and you're deep and you're connecting play,
But
you can't get there in time sometimes.
But I
So, are you saying they didn't practice this at all like they haven't
Bro,
done
they
this?
look lost. Let's be
No,
real.
I'm
I don't
saying,
know
like,
what they're
are
doing.
we
in
saying like
Okay.
they haven't tried this and they've seen that it works, and then when they tried it on the pitch, it didn't work? There's a big difference between saying, oh, like, and when we say things with certainty, like that's what makes me laugh about. We're very reactionary as Arsenal fans. Like Mikel Arteta is telling them
all
just because
fans,
they're
all
watching it,
fans, all fans.
just all
All
fans
of
were
us.
fine. Yeah, but like, let me speak to the Arsenal fans.
You're
because
actually, you're not reactionary at all, right?
if I speak about other fans, they'll say, "Oh, you're talking about our team." But my thing is like, look, honestly speaking, I don't think any manager goes out there, sets up to say, "I want to lose the game." I don't think any manager goes out there and sets up and says, "You know what, I'm here to throw this away." No, and
But no one said he did.
But no one, but no one's saying that.
so I know I'm saying I'm just speaking. I'm not saying like anybody said. I didn't say any one of you said that. I'm just speaking generally. Like no manager goes out. So definitely when players are set up in a certain way. Today I said something on the terrace. Everybody was saying, "Oh, it's on Mikel Arteta." I said, "Okay, I agree with you. It's on the manager for the selection and how he set up the players." But the players themselves were not even playing like they were given 100%. This is like imagine as a boxing coach. No, imagine as a boxing coach, you tell your boxer when you get in there, give the guy a left hook. I want a left, and then the guy is giving soft left hooks, and he comes back.
But Dio, again,
hold on, Jay.
again.
My thing is, give it your all in what the manager has asked you to do. Let's clearly see that this manager's tactics are crap. We were losing the first balls, we were losing the second balls, we were not winning in the midfield. The bottom line was they were better than us today. Simple.
No.
all of this,
You know when you have
Dio, you're
when you
saying
have
it.
anyone who's underperforming
You're saying-
in an organization, what do? You pull them out. Did he pull them out? Did he swap? Did he inspire that team? No. He said to them,
listen, I agree with you on the manager's side. I'm saying, what about on the player's side when they're on the pitch and you need to give 100% too? We've all seen what the manager's part is. Okay, fine, fair enough. Are we saying that it's all?
So Dio, if they're not giving the manager 100%, are they playing for the manager then? Are you saying that we should maybe look for a new manager?
I am saying in today, see, in isolation of today's game, like how do you take one game? And it's something I said for Man City. Man City had a bad game today. I'm not going to sit here and generalize and say, well, that's the end of Foden. That's the end of all the players because they play badly. They play badly in one game. It is what it is in that one game.
But we ain't been played bad in one game. It's not been one game, Dio.
The manager set up badly. The players themselves did not give 100%. And to be fair enough, Newcastle basically outplayed us. They outmuscled us. Okay, we asked for Easton. Easton finally got a good cameo. He was outmuscled as well. So let's not act like any of the things that we really, really wanted him to do was going to work today. These guys did not want to play today. For some random reason.
Again, Dio, you're bringing on Ethan at 1-0 down, bro. You're throwing him in the deep end every time. You're not.
Do you know
Jay,
what? Can I chime in before Daz and before Jay finishes? You know what Dio said? No manager set out to lose, but also at the same time he says, but the players were not out to win. So why are you giving leeway to the manager and not giving the leeway to the players?
I said
why?
I'm asking the same question about. I said the manager sets up a certain way. Now he, in his mind, thinks that that's a winning formula.
Why it cannot be very simple, that he was just out tactic and he fucked up today and fucking lost again, bro.
I said that about Newcastle.
It's very simple, bro.
But I don't even know.
What I said about Newcastle.
Dio, he was out tactic today.
What did I say about Newcastle? Mo? What did I say about?
Yeah, they were good.
And what did I say?
But it's on manager to change things on the pitch, not on the players. It's on the manager to change things, Dio. It's not on the players.
Even worse.
Mo, even when we changed, they still outplayed us, is what I said. Even when we brought in players.
But chasing a game is different, though.
No, listen, I hear you on the. My point is about the outplaying us. The tactics. We changed.
They definitely out-tacted you.
Listen, we changed 4 players before they changed 1 player, and they still outplayed us. So my point is to the fact that regardless of what happened today, the manager got it wrong. Mikel Arteta got it wrong. The players themselves got it wrong. So
and then how long? How long?
How many times are we gonna keep saying this, Dio? It's
five games out of 10. 5 games out of 10, Dio. 5 games. Next game, if you lose to Chelsea, you know what the problem is, Dio? You know what the problem is? People like me, neutrals, for example, I don't want City to win the league. Right? I want Liverpool or Arsenal or anybody else to win the league. We say Arsenal are still slow. They're building. And then it keeps game after game after game. And every time we criticize Arsenal, we're getting labeled, you're a hater. Why? Wait. You're a hater. Why? Why are you criticizing this guy? Why are you criticizing this? Every time, by the way, I criticize. Today, I was called an Arsenal hater. Why? Because I just put out a statement that Arsenal, maybe Arteta is not setting up the team right to protect the defense, and that's why he chose to go, oh, you're an Arsenal hater.
But the thing is
we're not.
but okay, I think that everyone, again, is blowing this result out of
CUJ.
proportion. Because I don't think that Newcastle were not just like, lo and behold, by and far, the better side than Arsenal today. Arsenal had more shots than Newcastle did. Arsenal just only had one shot on target, right? David Raya, outside of that header, I'm not going to exactly say that he had the toughest day at the office. He wasn't getting peppered. He had to make 3 saves. Newcastle had 9 shots, 4 on target, 1 goal. He had to make 3 saves. I don't remember seeing him being that tested. It's not like he had a one-on-one like Kelleher did today, and he had to, puff his chest. Also, I'm looking back, I'm watching the highlights. You guys had, in the 26th minute, you have a ball that's 6 feet in front of the net. There's 3 Newcastle players, and the Arsenal guy just puts his head down and smashes it, right? That ball goes in. Everyone's tune is completely different. It's not like Arsenal just didn't have a sniff. And in the same breath, when you talk about Ethan, I always fuck up his last name.
Nwaneri.
Regardless, when you talk about him, try to view it from like a manager's perspective. I have an 18-year-old, then I have Leandro Trossard. What's the bigger risk? Playing Trossard, who has done things for me in the
All
past.
right, Mike, can I ask you a question? Why sell
I
your
want to
other
get
10?
Rak's opinion after this, please.
Why sell your other 10? Why sell ESR and Fabio Vieira?
This
who are
is
your other
thi-
natural 10s?
That's something else.
This is a different thing. When it comes to Ethan in particular, to me, it's a bigger risk to play him, potentially have him put on a poor performance, potentially ruin his confidence as an 18-year-old starting away to Newcastle than starting Leandro. I'm just giving you a different perspective.
Injuries are going to happen. But you know injuries are going to happen. And if that's your only other player who can come in for that position, why? If you weren't willing to risk it, why? He's a redundant. Keep him in the under-21s then. If you're going to protect them and they're not ready, why promote them?
We're the same Arsenal fans. Last year, Mikel Arteta doesn't have any other way of playing. He plays in only one way. Now you're asking him to play in the only one way that he knows how to play, which is bringing the 10 for a 10. He's trying to play in a different way now, and we're complaining. Yes, it's not working. Yes, it's not working. I agree.
I never said that though.
No, I'm saying no.
Nwaneri had 30 minutes to do something.
Not even about Nwaneri. I'm just saying, like, not even about Ethan. I'm just saying generally, we've complained about how Mikel Arteta cannot play different ways. You hear Arsenal fans say it all the time. He only has one style of playing, and once that is not working, we're in trouble. Okay, our main playmaker is out of the game. Odegaard has been out. We've seen how impactful it has been. When Trossard played in that role a couple of games ago and played well, you saw every Arsenal fan, can Odegaard get back into this team? You remember those statements?
I remember that.
Exactly.
So I remember this. Not you, but it has been.
We know Arsenal fans. We know the majority of Arsenal fans are fools.
That's what I'm saying. Like, for me, it just gets tiring when you hear these complaints. This game in isolation.
Chess, before you come in, I need to do super chess and I need to get Rak's opinion on this, please.
This game in isolation for me. This game in isolation.
I thought you're gonna have your say. Go ahead.
He's laughing in silence. He's laughing in silence.
Bro, he's cooking something, but go ahead, Rak.
No. Arsenal. Where do I start, man? I was on the Gal's channel yesterday, and last week, and he said that that he would only accept 7 points out of the next 3 games. Liverpool, Newcastle, and Chelsea yet to come. That Chelsea game is looming large over the horizon, because I think if they drop points against Chelsea, I won't say a draw or a win, but if they drop points, I think that is a huge margin for them to have to make up. Odegaard or no Odegaard. So whereas last week, I was really disappointed at the end of the game last week, because Arsenal definitely played better in the first half. We played better in the second half, but also when they had all those players go off, I was screwing that we didn't not just equalize, but we didn't go on to win the game, because I think Arsenal at that point were there for the taking. Arsenal just, it doesn't look like, I don't know where their next goal is coming from. Like how many open play goals have Arsenal had this season?
I'd be
I'd
surprised
really-
if it's more than 5.
A lot. A lot. I believe they've only scored 3 goals from set pieces in the Premier League.
And how many?
We've
What's the total number of goals?
we've only scored 3 goals from set pieces. I think we scored about 17 goals or 15 or 16 goals, but we only scored 3 from set pieces. The others are open play goals.
But you also have to remember that if it's a corner kick and it's not the direct header, like if it's not the
So
direct
this is
header from the
thing,
corner,
yeah.
it's also. But I have no way to quantify that because I don't watch the games like that. But I would venture to say it's probably a little bit more than 3. But not
Yeah,
too much.
it depends. It depends whether you, because technically, if someone heads it away and then you score, that's a different phase of play and all that kind of. I think Arsenal, yes, Odegaard is a huge miss, and obviously he helps you defensively as well as offensively, but you need to find other solutions, I guess, if you want to be, if you want to be a serious contender at the end of the season. And look, unfortunately, rival fans, they're not going to give you any praise because we sat there. First of all, they said you hadn't won the Premier League for 30 years. When we won it, then they said it's a COVID league title, and then
And it's
also
not gold.
they said and then they also said, oh yeah, by the way, and even when we did win it, they said, oh, now you just got 1 in 30 years. So you can't expect rival fans to give you
I don't want your sympathy. I don't care for your sympathy.
no quarter will be given, unfortunately.
I don't
And,
want it.
Okay, let me do the super chats before we move on. Who is the greatest footballer, Salah or Haji? Haji is Romanian. Jorge Haji is Romanian. He's not Egyptian. The President Jafar, and if you're talking about the Haji, the other Haji guy, he's Moroccan, Mustafa Haji. So
Salah has 200. He has 220 goals for Liverpool. This isn't even a conversation.
So
with comparison to
Nilo
almost
Palace,
any
Mo,
place.
it's very scary. Bro,
Scary.
Liverpool are scary. Liverpool is scary. Mo, remember when we had Jackson Kai debate, and in 1 week we saw Jackson spin burn, but Havertz versus Dan Burn. Kai is a 9 to 5 striker, just does the shift, and fans love it. Blaze, to be honest with you, if you're marked by Dan Burn and you get dominated in the game, there is a serious problem about your ability as a footballer.
You saw what Jackson did to him last week, though.
Jackson gets
And
way
also,
too much.
I'm gonna say something.
way too much.
Even though
disrespect.
Kai Havertz has been clutch, somehow Kai Havertz was going for Dan Burn's body today every time. Like he was not even looking at the ball, bro. He was trying to hit Dan Burn. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Just go for
especially
the ball.
at the end of the game.
What are you trying to
especially
do,
at the end of
bro?
the game.
Yeah, what are you trying? You're 1-0 down. Try to score instead of trying. Bro, 4 fouls in a row or something, if I'm not mistaken, because you're not looking at the ball and you're looking at the player. Try to win the header, bro. And again, we're going to go to the fact that Arsenal needed an extra forward. Where is Raheem the Dream? Is he still on
This
the...
is what I mean about the manager. He has.
Is
I don't know.
is Raheem still part of
people
the
like Dale were kind of like, hoping about Sonny coming into the club. It's all Chelsea's fault, and now look, they can't even come to the pitch.
No, like
Hope
it's
you-
the
hope you
manager
about what?
for not
What
playing. him, though.
did I say about Raheem when we got him? I
The
said
thing
he's
is, though, you know what I don't want to do? I don't want to go back
he's a
and
good
say,
backup.
look, you look
I
like an
said,
idiot.
I said he's a good backup. That's what I said.
He's not even a good backup, which is what we said.
Good backup, I can't even get onto a pitch when you're losing.
Hey, listen. As in, for me,
That's a great backup, isn't it?
I said he's a good backup. I
Hindsight's
didn't say he is.
2020. Hindsight's 2020.
No,
Exactly.
we're not doing that, Mike. We're not doing that.
Yeah,
No, but the manager hasn't played him. That's got nothing to do with our opinions on a player.
Yeah. So my opinion is, I think he's a good backup and he should be able to do the business. He has the experience.
Based off what?
And you would base it on that. You would say a player who's got the experience, who's done it before in other clubs, should be good enough to get off the pitch and get on here and do the business. And if he doesn't, then hey, it is what it is.
He's on loan. Who cares? It's a nothing. It's a nothing signing anyway.
That's my
You know, the problem
regardless-
is it's not about nothing signing. You know, the problem with that signing is that it's one extra player that you could have had.
But
Yeah, he's taking a
100%.
play.
But we know what this board is. We know Edu's a fraud. We've always known this, so none of the fans are going to disagree with that. We've known this for a long time.
the one point that we haven't really gotten to yet, which I think is the most important, is that regardless of
It's the referee today. Oh no, there was no controversy today.
No, it was definitely the
Regardless- regardless-
You
just opened up a can of worms in the middle of my point. Come
The
on, bro,
referee
you're
did
stepping on my
not
toes.
block Isaac's goal. He didn't defend Isaac, man. What a disgrace.
Okay. Listen. The biggest point here is that regardless of Martin Odegaard being out, You're now 7 points behind the top of the table with a chance of Odegaard not being there for Chelsea. You could potentially be 8 or even 10 points behind. So at that point, it doesn't even matter if Martin Odegaard's back, because now your fate is completely out of your hands 11 games into the season. We're 26% through the year, which is why I'm not talking favorites. I'm not even talking title race. But ultimately, if you're, 30% through the season and you're 10 points behind, and then potentially, we don't even know if Odegaard's going to be back Chelsea or the next game after that. We don't know if he's going to be back after the international break. We have no idea. It comes to the point where you've fallen too far behind in order for you getting better to make any difference. Because if these two teams don't slip up massively,
Yes, scrap the Premier League, go for the cups.
What?
But what does that mean though? When people say go for the cups, you can't just go for the cups.
What is that?
cup
What that
games
even
go
mean?
to you.
I mean,
Rock,
the
what
thing is,
he
at that
means-
point,
no,
at that
No,
point,
okay. Arsenal.
Mo,
not.
hear
Can
what
I
he said.
talk?
He responded to he responded to what he said. He said if we end up at the end of next week losing to Chelsea and losing our next game and we're like 13 points by December off the top, like what do you do? And then Saul said, yeah, just focus your strongest players on the cup. Don't play the youngsters. Just focus on them and try and win the cup. If you have 13 points off the leaders, what are you trying to do? I mean, that's clear mathematics. It's no longer in your hands.
No, but what is the process by which you focus on the cups? This is what I don't understand.
What does that mean? Yeah,
But the thing is, Dio, now you're discounting Chelsea. Now you're discounting Aston Villa because they could overtake you and finish
I'm
fourth.
not discounting them.
Hold up. Can I say something to you, Dai, before you go? Focus on the cups. When Rack said focus on the cups, that mean
Can I say
not
something
go for
else,
the
bro?
league. Are we talking? So if you focus on the cups,
I-
is that top 4 guaranteed for you then?
No. Hypothetically, if you are
Okay.
if you are 15 points off the leaders by December, if any team,
You're in top 4 race.
you're in the top 4 is good.
with all
With
due
strong
disrespect,
team.
You have to focus on the league.
I am
You have to focus on the league to get Champions League
I am
football.
outright disrespecting the rest of the league. We
Hold
will
on.
finish top 3 minimum.
You
I'll
have
just dare make it
No
positive about
question.
everything.
No question.
hypothetically, right?
How is losing the league now turned to a positive from there? I don't get
It's
it.
not a positive. Nobody's saying the positive. Listen to what we're saying. Listen to the question. Hypothetically, if you are 15 points off the leaders by December, coming into January,
I said 10, but yeah.
no,
15.
I'm even just saying, like, if it's really that bad, you don't stand a chance. No, you don't stand a chance of winning the Premiership anymore.
Yes, go ahead.
So good. So
Yeah,
focus
good
on
stuff,
making top 4. But now, when you're going to play any League Cup, don't play Tommy Setford, who's 18 years old in goal.
Okay.
Raya.
Well, duh.
That's what I'm
You're
saying.
15
Like,
points
that's
or two from the
what I meant.
league.
But I think that's just logic. That doesn't need.
But that's the thing
If
is,
you are
but hold
50,
on.
The question,
that's so logical.
But hold on.
Dio.
Dio. You are, but
Yeah, but I
okay.
get what Saul said. But to be honest with you, if you are in January and freaking 15 points behind the league leaders, questions have to be asked about this team and the manager, bro.
Hold on, Mo.
Just go win
not-
the cup. Go win the Champions
It's
League.
not
I don't
even
care
that.
what you do.
You guys,
Champions League.
you would
Champions
be I mean, okay, by having that mentality, regardless of how far you are behind. I mean, bear in mind, Liverpool came behind from a 12-point lead to finish 1 point behind Manchester City. So, like, ultimately,
We're not Liverpool,
like
though.
nothing. Okay, that's fine.
Nothing
But
is impossible. I
if
agree
you-
with you.
If
No, it
you
is
if
for
you are
Arsenal.
15, if not even 15, because I said 10. If you're 10 points behind, and you think that the better move is to go after the cups, and if hopefully if we get back into the race and City and Liverpool fuck up, whatever, you're discounting Villa,
Bro, we
you're
were 8
discounting
points
Chelsea.
ahead
Bro,
of
they're all
City.
done.
No, you're not
It's 10
discounting
points.
what
Can
you
I
said.
say something, guys? This 10 points can just happen next weekend. It's not
know.
January, bro.
I know
No,
it's
what
7
I'm
days
saying
from
is
now.
We have had 8 points lead on Man City, and we've bottled that. Like, what hope do we have getting 10 points on them? Let's
Being a
be
fan.
real.
Yeah,
man.
and them on
I live in
Liverpool as
reality.
well.
I'm not deluding myself anymore. I don't care to delude myself. I'm just saying the reality is, if we're that far behind, we need to fucking win, man. I'm tired of being a loser.
Exactly.
I can't be arsed.
See, that's
It's
exactly
not
what I was saying.
easy,
The
man. It's
context-
not easy. Bro, it's hard. It's depressing. End of the season, yeah. We back our team all season. And then what do we have to show? I want to show a Carabao Cup right now. I don't even care.
Mike,
you're kidding me.
I'm a beggar. I'm a beggar. I can't
Mike,
choose.
you have to play Newcastle.
Anything.
Don't you have to play Newcastle
my
again
God,
in the
this
Carabao
is-
Cup? Well, like
Bro,
who do you play in the next one?
I don't know. I don't care. Just give me anything. Give me
No,
an
we
energy
play
drink.
Crystal
I don't
Palace.
care.
I think. I think we play
Oh,
Crystal
I'm
Palace.
sorry. I'm
So
sorry.
Mike,
my bad.
so
My bad. You're right.
Mike,
Can I say something, Mo?
Mike,
Can I say
what I mean,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
what I mean by focus on the cups, what
Oh,
I mean
there's
by
talking
focus on
again.
the cups,
Oh, wait.
is simply like if you're 10 points off the leaders, like you said, that scenario, and it could happen. If you're 10 points off the leaders, yes, stay within that mark and try to make your top 4. But now, whenever you play any of the cup games, because of the context around Arsenal not winning trophies for so long, you need to win something with this team. Like, go on and win something as well. So play some of your so play some of your
Temporary lower the standard in order to stay. In order to make
It's
the
not about lowering the standard at all, though. It's about the fact that, look, this team clearly has some hoodoo or a judge over them that they just can't get it over the line.
Come on.
What am I? What do you want me to just lie?
I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go into the voodoo.
Oh,
now.
But it's not. But it's not. No one's cursed Arsenal.
No, man.
Someone might have. Rack, don't say that. Someone might have.
I'm not saying it's a curse. All right, maybe the word, yeah. What I'm trying to say, right, is that there's clearly this mental barrier or a block or something in their heads or something, right, that's stopping them from winning, getting it over the line. Because they've had opportunities in the last 2 seasons to actually win a Premier League and they haven't been able to do it. Is it just the fact that they need to have that feeling of winning? Or what it is, whatever it is, we just need to do something. I'm not going another season. I'm not going another season without having a cup. I don't care what cup it is. Make a cup up. I don't care. Just give me something to celebrate. I need something. I'm desperate.
The Audi Cup.
Hold on, let him finish. Let him finish. This is one of the best meltdowns I've seen on YouTube.
No. The fact of the matter is, look. I'm one of those, I back Arteta and I back this process and I back this project, but I need to see something now. I need to see a trophy of some form. If you're going to crash and burn in the Premier League, please win me an FA Cup. Please win me an Energy Cup. Please just win me something. Because I'm not going another season, right, of not winning anything. Even if we have to make it up. Make a North London Derby Cup, Super Cup or something. I don't
Community
care.
Shield. You already have one. You won the Community Shield.
No, I need something more. I need a cup. I want a trophy like a
silverware.
I want a Wembley. I want like a
I want to ask a question. Yeah, what was said? So I can make my point after. What was said about the Arsenal segment? What's your consensus in the Arsenal game? So as a Mo,
they were shit.
The Newcastle were a better team.
I want to make that up because it's your channel, so I can reference to it on your show. The Rational League show, you literally mentioned to the panel that it's going to be a tough game.
I tried. I tried, bro.
I was like, bro, the thing is,
I was ridiculed.
Bro, the way they systematically and so eloquently was like, what? No, Mo. What? They're not going to drop points. And the way it happened, the way you said. The way it happened, word for word, the way you said.
I literally described the game. Wallahi, described the game in that show, bro. I was ready. Tom Little said, "Get out of here. It's a 2+ goal margin."
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
People are crazy.
I was like, you know what?
HUSAM said Brighton was going to be 4-0.
Played, you wouldn't think they needed to win this game. You'd think it's the game where they could throw it away potentially. They've already won the league or they've already done what they need to do. They just was poor. And Newcastle, no offense, they're not that great. They didn't do anything crazy in this game. It was like, wow. Their fullbacks had good games and they scored their only chance of the game, really. That was it. Arsenal, they didn't win because of themselves. And how many times this season where they've dropped points and they're blaming everything but themselves, ironically. PGMOL, red cards, this injury. At the end of the day, we've seen the Arsenal team perform at a top 6 level. This is the points they're getting, the way they perform is like a top 5-6 team. It's not a team that's trying to strive to be the top. And people saying the copium of Man City drop points, that mentality there is why you'll never win anything. Because if you're looking at other teams this early in the season, that's not good enough. And yes, Mike and Man City fans can use you as a point measure because they're ahead of you. So they can look to widen that gap and keep doing what they're doing and use you as like a stick to hit you with. Because if your team behind, you need to keep winning games and do what you need to do. So for me, I was like, this is a must-win game. I want to see where they're at. Like Chelsea tomorrow. Chelsea will kind of show everybody where they're at tomorrow. Today showed me what Arsenal's at. And that day for you is a top 4 team. And until you change that, what can you say? What can you say to me? Because we could go above you tomorrow. Do you know that? Did you know that?
Before I'm gonna
Guess what, Mo? Let me tell you something. If we don't do it tomorrow, we could do it next week. You got 2 chances.
Well, hold
I'm
on.
gonna say
You could be 5 points ahead of them next week if you beat United and then
shit.
you beat Arsenal.
Correct. I'm
So-
not
Oh,
even
shit.
gonna jinx it and say, "Oh, tomorrow." Hear me. I'm not coming at any today. I could be a lot worse. But you know what? Tomorrow's a long day. But I'm just saying, even if we don't do it tomorrow, we do. Next week I can do it.
You got
My own
2 games.
route.
Do you know what?
Can I just
go
say
ahead.
Can I say one quick point? Look, I've said this before about Arsenal. Arsenal are a very, very good team. They're one of the best teams in Europe, right? For a long time, for probably 20 years.
Hold on. Can I ask you something? Why are you saying that? Why are you
Okay.
based on what
Yeah,
are you
true.
saying
Can't be
that?
said that right.
Can I
But
say
yeah,
that? Can you tell me why do you say that? Why do we have
Because-
every time to speak about Arsenal, we have to start by saying praising them? They're a very good team. Can you explain
because
that?
because the Premier League is one of the best leagues in the world,
Yes.
and they are at worst. Well, look, I'm not going to Chesney's here, so I'm going to respect him. I'm going to say from what we've seen last season, they are at worst the 3rd best team in the league, possibly
All right.
the 2nd best team in the
Fair
league.
enough.
So
Fair enough.
that's my rationale. There aren't that
enough.
many other teams in Europe that I think are better than them. They are capable. I said to last year, look, my main point I want to make is, for the last 20 years, Arsenal fans have had to take it from all the rivals, and understandably so. And now these last few years where Arsenal have become competitive, we've been giving it to Arsenal fans, but we also are a little bit worried because we also know that all our friends who are Arsenal fans that we've been giving to for the last 20 years, anyhow they win a trophy, they're going to fucking dunk on our heads because they know they've been taking it for 20 years and they're going to let rip. And none of us want that, right? Because we don't want. Liverpool had that. We had 30 years. You haven't won, despite the fact we won the Champions League twice. You haven't won the Premier League. Haven't won the Premier League. Haven't won the Premier League. So we've also been in this situation. And you're not going to get any plaudits or any congratulations, even if you do win it. But at the very least, the earliest you'll get it is when you win. And
Iraq, someone said this on my stream. I don't really believe in this, but they said they had 2 bites at the cherry and they failed. And for me, it's hard to say, but like if you want to use it objectively and say that's true, you could argue Liverpool can only get better. They spend more money, more than 25 million, 30 million, whatever it is. Chelsea can improve their team by natural growth of the players and spending money they've already proven to do. Man United with a new structure, a new manager, which is arguably the 3rd best manager in the league, can only go up. So then you look at it in that way and you go, well, in 2 years' time, yes, you might be in the title race, but by then, there might be 4 teams around you who are competing.
Yeah.
That's logic. That's not even me being like overly biased about my team. That's using four different clubs.
So why are you assuming that Arsenal will go backwards and assuming everyone else will go forward?
See, I said 4 teams. Didn't I?
Why Arsenal are a young team? They can go forward as well.
But that's why I said 4 teams competing. I never said they'll go backwards.
So Arsenal are in the mix because you mentioned United.
Yes.
So Arsenal in the mix.
Not listening. So
Because I thought the 4 teams you mentioned are Liverpool. No. I thought the 4 teams you mentioned are United, Chelsea, City, and Liverpool. But that's
Those were the 4 teams he mentioned. Those were the 4 teams he mentioned.
See, I didn't hear that wrong. I didn't hear that wrong,
That's why I
right?
raised my hand and he's like,
I didn't hear that wrong.
He's
He
basically
literally
saying
mentioned
Arsenal
4 teams.
If
And
you
Arsenal
don't
now
chat
with them.
long enough, you know what he's trying to do.
I know
Nah,
what he's
I
He knows
literally
what
said 4
he's
teams.
That is so
as well as their
shameless.
team. That's what
But it didn't go. It's so shameless, bro.
I wasn't. No, I
It's
said
so
4 teams as well as
shameless.
their team. I should have made it clear because you guys can't use.
You
whatever.
said 4 teams will be
4
around them.
teams.
Will be
I
around
meant
them. So
4
what-
teams. I'll be competing with them as well as them. So they're not going to drop.
Yeah, but why not them? Okay, again, I'm gonna repeat the question again, Chess. Why are you assuming that Arsenal will not go forward as well, along with the other teams?
No,
Unless you think they're gonna go backwards. That's
no.
different.
I feel like they won't go backwards because their team is young and they still spend enough to stay where they're at. The way they're spending their money, the way they're moving the manager, they're not doing enough to go over the line. So if they don't do enough to go over the line in the next 2 years, by then Chelsea, United, City, who've the manager. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, right. Go on.
I will also say that it's going to be more difficult for us to win the league next season, I think, than it is to win it this season. This season, especially if, look, there are certainly question marks about City. There's question marks about Liverpool, and there's question marks about Arsenal. Arsenal obviously have dropped off a few points. I think Arsenal do have a younger team. Chelsea are coming. Man United maybe. So I think this season it's going to be easier for us to win the league probably than next season, because the next season
And Arsenal before this,
Yeah.
this what do you call it, hindsight. Before the season started, everyone was saying Arsenal were going to win the league. I even predicted they'll win the league. A lot of people on this panel, even if they didn't want to, it kind of came to the exception that they were going to win it. And now this season's kind of raveled its way out. And mix and match. And most people, not everybody, but most people might probably said Arsenal got a large.
I wanna raise a point that is very important in this thing. We have to start now looking at these 3 games that Arsenal played against Newcastle, against Bournemouth, against Liverpool at home, and start saying, I am not giving Arsenal leeway because they aren't getting the points.
I'm not.
That's the thing. So here is the thing, because lately it has been, they're going to go back. I'm saying that for myself. I am not going to change my opinion. Arsenal this season have not been convincing in the majority of their games. I'm not changing my stance until they change. I'm not doing for Arsenal what we do for City. City have enough credit. Arsenal now, they need to go to Chelsea and win. If Arsenal don't win against Chelsea, I'm going to sit here and say you're out of the title race until you are back in it, not the other way around. That's what I'm saying. I said Liverpool because of the players you have and City. I'm never going to say Liverpool are out of the title race until they are. But I'm going to say this. If Arsenal don't win against Chelsea, and they are, unless both Liverpool and City lose, Arsenal are out of the title race until they are back in it. And I think I'll be fair to say that. Odegaard back,
if
not
they lost
Odegaard
to
back.
Chelsea, you could say they're in the top 4 race. They're not in the top.
I won't say that because I don't think that Villa were in a top 4 race last season, but they weren't in a title race. Does that make sense? Like Villa.
No, but Villa. Wait, weren't Villa? They were doing good last season until like.
Exactly, but that's the point. Sometimes Arsenal can be. The point is Arsenal can be third, and I think Arsenal are a very good team.
By title race. If you mean like last 5 games of the season, then no. But if you're talking about consistently there for let's say 3/4 of the season,
for me, title race, Shez, is that the last 9 points. The last 9 points you can win. Like even Liverpool last season, they pushed for the title, but in the last 3 games, we knew that Liverpool aren't winning the title. 5 games. That's not a title push.
I give you a definition, by the way.
That's not a title push because that. But by the way, game week 32, we knew 2 seasons ago that City won the league, right? We knew that City literally threw away the last 2 games and still won the league. But people forgot that Arsenal were 7 points ahead by game week 32. City won the league. Exactly. City already threw out the last 2 games and won the league. That's not a title race. That's a race, but it's not a title push. Not 1 point. It's not like you have to win it. The thing about Arsenal, which is this is one of the things that people don't realize, is that because Arteta having won the league before, like the Klopps, and we have to be a little bit critical more of the other teams. And also because he has been here forever. And some of the players there, I'm telling you, might leave. Why not Saka leave? Why not Saliba leave the team? If you come third, what guarantees these guys that they're going to win in the future? If these guys are looking to be the best players in the world, why don't leave and go to other teams that are more ambitious? But people completely, I
think people didn't want to come to terms with that point because they hadn't seen Arsenal drop yet. Because they've seen Arsenal progress. When you say that point, they can't really imagine that because how can Arsenal go backwards? But when you actually see them go backwards, now the reality starts to become a reality. If that makes sense. So Arsenal fans, if they were to come 3rd or 4th in the league, worst case scenario, and fall behind Chelsea and Liverpool, now a lot of Arsenal fans would accept that point and go, City could leave this season. They're not going to argue with you, are they? They came 3rd. Behind Liverpool team that spent no money.
Especially if the money is offered very well. Like if the money is good. The thing about it, unless I'm going to give you, and I want to get Daniel's point on this. If you don't win the league this season,
last year, they didn't win it. He guaranteed the league this season, they didn't win it.
I want to ask the people in the chat. I want to ask the people in the chat. I want to ask Daniel a question before we move into Liverpool. If Arsenal don't win the league this season and you come 3rd and you keep Arteta, okay? He doesn't win the league. You keep Arteta. What would make the players stay? I know that if you go get a top manager or whoever is out there at that point, the players might start saying, okay, a new project, blah, blah, blah. But if you keep Mikel Arteta and you come 3rd or something like this, not in a title race, why would Saliba want to stay with the same manager? Yes, he developed him, but why? If Real Madrid come calling, Hansi Flick, Barcelona come calling, why would he stay?
I mean, if Real Madrid comes calling or Barcelona comes calling, of course you're not going to want to stay. You're talking about the biggest club in the world. They would, if any player that those clubs come for, you would go there, of course. And the fact that it has to be a Real Madrid or Barcelona that comes calling for Saliba, that's
My
one.
guy, sorry, Charlie. We know that they are on a contract. Everyone is on a contract, but sometimes players just are pushed to go, Charlie, which is fine.
The
They're
fact
under
that,
contract
the fact that it has to be those two clubs that you had to use as an example to mention,
because he's that level. Because he's that level,
I
Because he's that level.
know that's what I'm saying. Just tells the level of player
Yes.
that he is and what Mikel Arteta.
He's not leaving to go Newcastle, Dayo. He's not. He's not gonna go to AC Milan. Like, he's not.
Arsenal players that are key to Arsenal. If they leave Arsenal, are not going to go to, like you said, Newcastle or go back to Aston Villa.
With all due respect, yeah,
they're probably going to go to a top team. So if a top team
Liverpool.
coming, if a top team comes calling for any of our best players, if we haven't won anything, all is fine, love and war. Let them leave. They should leave. I would leave if I was in the company and I was giving my best, and then we had a CEO that was crap, and I'm not able to make the profits or the margins I'm supposed to make. I'm not growing in my career, and I'm not getting any better. I would go to a better company if a better company comes. But one thing I do know is it's going to take a top team to get these players off Arsenal's hands. It's not going to be any random team. So, hey. I mean, your question is fair. What will make them stay? It would have to be either they love the club themselves personally too much. That would have to be a personal thing by each individual player. Or it would have to take a lot of convincing with bringing in a new manager or something.
Guys, it's over still 1,000 people here, guys.
Or Mike, you're right. Or the money. It's like, you know what? Hey, let me increase your salaries to 500K a week.
Last thing. Arteta Rogers has taken us as far as he can. Sia, one question. When are people going to be Arteta out?
Are they not already?
When will I be Arteta out?
Not the positive ones.
I will be Arteta out if we regress and he doesn't win a trophy this season.
So you don't think there is any situation this season that you will start asking to change in mid-season to save the season?
I'm not one person who, as much as anything, I don't like the idea of changing managers mid-season. I know it can be terrible. Yeah, it's just a personal thing that Dio doesn't like. It's not about, like that's just a thing. So for me, if you started your nonsense, I'll let you finish your nonsense so I can clear you out. You understand what I'm saying? Like, start your nonsense, finish your nonsense, be gone.
Love it.
I will give you your time to finish your nonsense, and I can plan on how to fix it. Like, all right, this is what I need to do. So, for me, at the end of the season, like I said, if he regresses and doesn't bring any trophy at all, then I'm Arteta out. Like for me. Regression for me, like in the Champions League.
I want to speak about Liverpool, please.
It's almost like we didn't win.
Champions League, he must make
exactly, Mike.
It's almost like we didn't win.
Champions League, you have to make semi-final. You made quarterfinal last year, make semi-final this year. That's all I ask of you in the Champions League. In the Premiership, if you bottle the Premier League, make sure you go on and win league trophies. Make sure whatever you do and stay in top 4. Just don't drop out of there. Then there's a consideration.
So I had a chat with my good friend Igal, and he stated that not only does he said that he would want Arteta sacked if Arsenal finished behind Liverpool. Even if Arsenal finish second, Liverpool finish first, City finish third. I'm talking hypotheticals. Just indulge me for a moment. He said that he thinks that's a sackable offense.
Can you guys carry the show? I need to pray. Just 2 minutes.
Yeah. So he said that was for him, that would be a sackable offence. Now, obviously, we didn't necessarily go into it about other trophies. Obviously, if he did that and won the Champions League, fine. Or I don't know what your position would be on domestic trophies. But would you go as far as that, saying as if you finish behind Liverpool, even if that's only second, that's sackable?
It's sackable if you don't win any trophies. Any other trophies, like that's my condition. Like if you go on and you finish behind Liverpool, and my thing is now he needs to win trophies because he hasn't won any in 5 years. He just needs something to be able to buffer the fans, and fans would be like, okay, if out of some random alternate universe, Mikel Arteta wins the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, fans would be like, okay, at least we did a domestic double, blah blah blah. There'll be all that noise, which is great, good. And if he came third behind Liverpool and City, or behind Liverpool, City, and then Arsenal, or whatever it is, and he qualifies for the Champions League, and then he gets to probably like the semi-final, because he got to the quarterfinal last year, you know, and you get to the semi-final this year, I'd say, okay, well, you know, you didn't regress, more or less. You finally won trophies, because, you know, that we've asked you to win. Now the boys know what it feels like to win. They know what it feels like to celebrate with the fans in the streets.
Yeah, but
you know what? And I think that might be a missing thing.
Hey, Mike, right? He's talking absolute waffle, by the way. But yeah,
so I'm just
go
saying,
on.
like, that would be my yardstick. That would be my
But
yardstick.
Dio, the issue that I
Right,
have.
look, that's why I'm keeping the Vienna on. This is what he's smoking right now. That's why he's not giving eye contact. Sorry, Mike.
The issue, it's all good. It's all good. The issue that I have with that logic is that Arsenal have put the paramount importance on the Premier League, right? That is what all of you guys want. You want a Premier League. You don't want an FA Cup. You don't want a Carabao Cup. If anything, that's like, you know, the main course wasn't good, but the ice cream was decent. And so because the ice cream was decent, I'm somewhat happy about the meal that I just had at this super expensive restaurant. Now, ultimately, but hold on. I'm just using an analogy. The problem that you have as an Arsenal fan, at least if I were an Arsenal fan, if I'm looking at this, I blew a lead one year, and then I fell short the next year, and now the following year I'm even further behind, but I picked up, you know, 2 snacks along the way. It still doesn't change the question: is this guy the dude who will give me the $150 steak? Is this a 5 Wagyu?
My response was
the
to
fucking creme de la creme?
Question, Mike. Rack's question was specifically if you finish behind Liverpool. That was my response to him. He says specifically
100%.
I'm going Liverpool now.
So I was responding I was responding to his
Liverpool.
I was responding to his question. So he asked a particular question, and that answer is to that particular question. If you're asking me generally what I would do, right? Now, of course, I want the Premier League. All of this 5 years of building, you should be winning the Premier League. If you don't win the Premier League, I want you out. Left to me, be gone. Done. Do you understand? But to his question, if you finish just behind Liverpool, what is that sackable? I said yes. But if you bring trophies while finishing behind Liverpool, then I'd be like, you know what? Hey, fair enough.
But the thing is, I can consider. And I was challenging that logic and saying that shouldn't be enough. Like the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup should not be enough, because ultimately what you want,
it's not enough.
You want the Premier League, and if he can't get it done after 3 title races, one of which you were leading by a significant amount of points, he's probably not the guy. And if he's not the guy, and ultimately,
I said that about general. Yeah,
I was just basically saying that, like, the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup should be mute, because it should be the Premier League or the Champions League or nothing. And if you can't get either of these major trophies, it's time to move on, because how much longer can we have these players at this age and have this team that we believe can do something? You know what I mean? Because otherwise it just becomes a whole other year.
Let me just put
that's my general position about. I was just like I said, I was basically talking about what Matt said.
I really want to speak about Liverpool. Would 10th and Carabao Cup be enough, Dio?
Ungani, when you send the next super chat, do it with £20 or £200, and I'll answer you. But let me just answer your question. I simply said, again, if you're listening, which you should be doing with your ears, I said, if you're not going to win the Premier League, you must qualify for Champions League. Right? I believe everybody had me say that. So 10th position, you're just trolling. You must qualify for the Champions League, and even after that, you must win at least basic domestic double for me to even consider having a conversation about whether you stay or not. Those are my words.
Fair enough.
Those are my words.
Fair enough.
Let's talk about the winners of the week.
Are Liverpool favorites to win the Premier League then?
Don't say that. No.
Watch, guys. No chest Liverpool. Watch.
No, Mo, I'm not going to let you do this. I'm sorry. We're 26% of the way through the season. 26%.
But we can also say that Arsenal is no longer in the title race. 26% into the league. Why can't we say Liverpool is 26% at the same time? Because right now we talk about how bad Arsenal is at 26% to the league.
You're misunderstanding me, Dio.
By next week, if we fail to Chelsea, we're out of the title race. But we can't use that. You're
misunderstanding me.
If you win your next game,
someone's a bit rattled.
You're misunderstanding me, Dio. I'm saying that the favorite conversation should be about no one. You can say that someone's out of the title race 26% of the way through the season. If they come back, they come back, but it's not because of you. It's because other people messed up, right? If you're 10 points back, if you come back, that's because someone else dropped 10 points and you picked up 10. That's
Can
not
you tell
on
me
you.
what is stopping you from being favorites to win the league? If you're, can you tell me why?
Time. We're
What?
26% of the way. We're 10 games into the season.
Okay, so why
It has
are
not been
City ahead of you? What
only-
do City have better than you guys?
4 straight Premier League titles.
That's a stupid question, man. Come on.
Really? That's all because of the
The
history.
same, Mo. That's the
City,
same team. Stop it,
City,
man.
everyone is criticizing for how bad City are playing, and they're only 2 points behind us.
Facts.
We have
And
25.
by
we
the
have
way, you haven't
25.
you haven't been playing good as well. Just to let you
No,
know.
100%. We were shit
Oh,
in
well,
this
in
first half.
fact, you guys
We
got
were- we
bopped
were
by Brighton
shocking.
today, by the way.
We were well, we didn't get bopped, Ches. That's a little much, but we were
Right, I watched
poor.
the game. Don't do that. I
So
watched
did I. So did I. Kelleher made
Mike,
Kelleher
let me
made
say
a one-on-one
something. Let
save.
me say something. Let me say
Okay.
something. Even the goal you
Go
scored
for
was
it.
on transition. The goal you scored came from the Brighton attack, where they
Both
probably
of
should
them
have
were.
done a lot better.
Yeah, both
The
of them.
Salah
were.
goal,
100%.
the winner I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
and so
And
was
on
Cody Gakpo.
transition, and then you guys have what you would like to call a maverick, who's a very world-class player, scores a
That's
bang
why
on
we
top
employ
bins.
him
Do you know
knows
what
about it.
City don't have? That Maverick.
The hunt
right
that's
now.
what I'm about to go to. That's what I'm about to go to.
Right now.
Even
right now,
Chelsea
they-
have that.
Do you know what
Yep.
City don't have? A Van Dijk.
They haven't got a spine.
Simple.
They haven't got
Listen,
a spine.
if you want,
With
if you
Rodri
want
being
have,
out, and if Kevin De Bruyne doesn't come back
And they're centre
soon
back,
enough,
and they're centre
if
back.
you-
goals.
if you
they were
okay,
torn apart
Okay.
today, Man City today. That blow, they were
no chest
Justin,
Liverpool.
bro. Justin Kluivert bodied Netanyahu today. Justin Kluivert, bro.
Okay, the
Bournemouth
only
away it's not as easy as people thought it was, isn't it? I'm Brighton at home, isn't
the
it?
only point that I'm trying to make is that if you want to have the favorites conversation, then that's fine. You can.
They're
you can
not
consider
favorites. I
Liverpool-
disagree that you're. I don't think you're favorites because of
100%.
I don't think
The only point I'm trying to
put it
make
out there.
is that-
He put it out
is
there to
that
try and see if he could
to
catch.
me,
He could catch a
it is
fish.
too early. It's too early to have that conversation. I don't like to talk title race until January, February. Like I'm not going to talk about a title race 10 games into a season because anything can happen, right? Ryan Gravenberch could go down, Virgil van Dijk could go down, Mohamed Salah could be out for 4
So is
weeks. and all of a
Haaland.
sudden-
Who?
Mike,
So is Haaland.
100%.
Mike, fuck it, Mike. We're favourites. Let's fucking
You know
do
what?
this.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Top of the league.
Yeah.
Top of the league. Top of the league.
That's
6
right.
goals. 6 goals conceded. I've got the best.
They
I've
wish you
got the
could say
best
that.
fucking
They
X
wish
factors.
you could
I
say
got the
that.
best manager.
Hey,
All
right,
of you
they
guys
are
are
dreams to
dusted.
say that, mate.
25 out of 30. I'm the best. I'm the GOAT. Whatever. If
Hey
that's
Mo,
what
do
you
you remember
want.
those teams that when they stop talking? Now all he does is give side eye to the camera and look down all the time. You know what I'm saying? Things could change very quickly. You know what I'm saying?
But
You're on
If-
Dio's
if-
case, bro. You're on Dio's case.
I don't have
if
the-
I-
This
I
guy
don't have the time.
guarantee me
I don't
Premier
have the
Leagues.
time
Now
for
he's
somebody
telling
who
me
switches
guarantee me
off somebody who
top
switches off their camera and talks like this anonymous. Only God knows what you're doing back there with the
He
camera.
guarantee me the league. Now he can't even guarantee me top 4 or a fucking goal in a game. Things change.
You're not
you know what I'm
finishing
saying?
above me, and I'm still winning the league this season. Watch and see.
If I can just talk about
What?
if I could just talk
Yes.
about the game real
I said it
quickly.
again.
You aren't favorite. You aren't.
I'm
You
not saying
are
we're
in the
favorites.
race. I'm not counting you. I'm not counting you out, Dio.
Yeah,
I'm not counting you out.
Exactly. I'm not saying we're
That
favorites.
means he is,
I'm
by
not
the way.
counting you
I'm
out,
saying-
but your
I'm saying we
chances
can-
are getting slimmer by the week. Are they not? Like
It is no, of course, but I'm still in the race.
Listen, he guaranteed me a Premier League. They can't even guarantee me
Yeah.
a goal.
I am still in the race. So that's the bottom line. I'm not going to like when I'm out of
Oh,
the race.
not the
I will
Forest
say
in the
I'm
race.
out of
What
the
are we
race.
talking about here?
When I'm out of the race, I will say I'm out of the race, and I will know when we're out of the race. But we're not out of the race yet. So hey,
When it comes to
Wait,
the actual
wait,
game
wait, hold
today with
hold
with
on.
Liverpool. Okay, go ahead, Jess.
One second. Hold on. LFC Monster. Ches is shameless after everything he said in the summer about Liverpool. Now he's supposed to say we're favourites. When have I once said your favourites on this stream? That's Mo who said that. So
guys,
talk
I
to
never
him
said
on
that Liverpool are favorite. Actually,
Yes, I
that
don't know- I
statement
don't know
never
what
came
in the
out, bro.
conversation. He's just
I
he's
don't
just
know
pointing
you
it
don't
out.
understand
He was
YouTube.
saying it.
It's YouTube, bro. I never said that statement.
Mo, get these. I'm joking.
Listen, okay, so
I never
just
said that
on
statement, bro.
the actual game today with Liverpool.
McAllister need to be benched.
Well, hold on, Mo. The biggest problem right now at Liverpool is the 4-2-4. Like when Ryan super chatted that in the terrace, even though he's an absolute fraud and a troll, he
Oh
was
my
right in
God.
that.
He
Because,
was not
because
right.
right now, hold on,
He's not
allow me
right.
to explain. I will explain the logic, and then you're going to say, oh, you know what, Das? Logic. Ultimately, right now, teams are proving, Brighton proved it and Arsenal proved it, both in the first half, but obviously you can't press like that for 90 minutes. If you press this Liverpool team, we resort to the long ball. We can't play out because we only have 2 midfielders, because Szoboszlai is holding hands with Darwin Núñez at the front line. Essentially, there's 40 yards of space in between our midfield and the front 4. And so you're trying to bypass a press with 2 players. Has McAllister been poor? Yes. But I also think that that's down to the fact that no one is making options for him to move the ball to. And you can't just carry your way out of every press every single time. That's not the way it works. If they're pressing 6 guys, you're not going to dribble 6 dudes 100% of the time. You're probably not even going to do it 20% of the time. And I don't even think that McAllister is the physicality guy to do that in the first place. So I think that these first halves have pointed out a tactical issue with this 4-2-4 setup. And then it's funny because the second Luis Diaz comes in, all of a sudden, the second Luis Diaz and Curtis Jones are in there, we transition. Like if Szoboszlai was Luis Diaz as Curtis Jones is carrying that ball, Szoboszlai underhits the pass, it gets intercepted, and we don't even score the second goal. So, like, if anything, the 4-2-4 bothers me because I don't believe in playing out of the back with 2 players and having 60 yards in between the next person to be able to pass to. We're not getting the ball to feet to guys enough. And then it proves it because once we do, because Brighton stopped pressing in the second half, we were on them. And all of a sudden, 10 minutes into the second half, the atmosphere erupts and everyone's like, I think we can do this. I think we can do this. We're pressuring them, but that's because they stopped coming into our half. They stopped pressing us. Also, I have to give a massive shout out. Darwin Núñez, on that ball from Cody Gakpo, if you go back, I've watched it 10 times. I've even watched it from crowd perspectives. Núñez looks like he's about to make a head, like he's about to head that ball. And Verbruggen is standing there acting like he has to wait for the deflection. And at the last second, Núñez just ducks because he knows that the ball is headed for the corner. If he does duck, all of a sudden he has to head that in. Maybe we don't even equalize. So he needs to be given a little bit of credit for not making an attempt on that ball and for knowing that it had the angle to go in. And then obviously Mo is just Mo.
Are we overreacting talking about Mohamed Salah? Are we overreacting talking about Mohamed Salah being one of the best in that?
I'll talk about the game.
No.
Can I talk about Mo Salah? The thing is, like his role has changed now. He's more creative, kind of inverted winger. But the thing is, people said in the chat, he's still crap. At the end of the day, he won his team the game. And against Chelsea, the same thing where Liverpool didn't play well, but he got the penalty out of nothing, by the way. Didn't create anything. And he scored the penalty and did what he needed to do. So for me, he's the reason why.
And against Arsenal as well.
Against Arsenal, he just comes up with a moment. He doesn't play well in his games, man. But
he wasn't. By the way, today he missed a 1-on-1, and you see Twitter. I see my Twitter timeline. Crap. Everyone.
He tried to chip him, and he fucked it up. He tried to chip him. He underhit the chip because he's running at full speed. But the problem again, but okay. So I would argue to you that the entire front line in the first half looked like shit. It wasn't just Mo, but that's because we couldn't get the ball to them because we had to resort to playing 60-yard long balls. And I'm sorry, at 31 years old and 5'10", Mo is not that guy anymore. I can't just ping him the ball and have him go one-on-one with fucking Estupiñán over and over. He's a ball to feet player. This season, he's ball to feet. Ball to feet to Mo will create something.
We saw that.
Go on, Matt. Sorry.
I think this is why in the first half last week against Arsenal, it was a little bit difficult because they also pressed with a 4-2-4, and our only outlet was Mo and playing back to goal with Timber. And don't get me wrong, Mo did well, but he's never going to win every single duel like that. You know, he was getting better with Timber every now and then, but Timber was also getting his fair share of luck. And when that's your main outlet, then and if you're losing the ball 50% of the time in that position and teams are countering on you from that position, obviously it's not great. And I think that was one of the difficulties we had in the first half against Arsenal.
Right.
So we need to work out a way that we can counteract opposition's 4-2-4, because I think we also struggle a little bit to get out of that. But when we can work through it, we have the players to cause damage to any team in the world.
Yeah, but what I would say is on your attack, though, it is a bit poor. Like, without Mo Salah clumping these moments, that's where I'm worried for your team in terms of winning.
Attack starts in the midfield, though, Ches. It starts.
Yeah, so I agree. Obviously, McAllister played poorly today, and your last game played poorly. Szoboszlai, we already know about him since the beginning. He's been poor. But
you can't do shit.
I feel like your attack, I feel like Chelsea a little bit. In terms of like we're reliant on Jackson and Palmer right now, and the same with you guys are reliant on Salah, and so
But
it
I think
depends
we
how you want to
always
see
we always create chances though. Like every
Oh, souls.
week we'll get 3 or 4 chances, and then it's a question of, okay, of course, if we miss 3 giveaway chances, it's going to be a problem, right? It's going to be a problem. But more often than not, we take those chances. Obviously, we've only dropped 5 points this season so far, so we will always create chances, and I think that's the fact that we've got Salah who can finish. We've got Jota who can finish, and we've got Gakpo. I think I rate Gakpo as our third best finisher in our team. I think given an opportunity in front of goal, he'll take it. And then we hopefully Nunes can step up and improve his conversion rate. Like, there's a lot of positives at the moment, and let's see where it can take us.
I mean, I also think another huge positive is that the only goal that Brighton scored was a wonder strike. Like, it's not like listen, Kelleher had to make one one-on-one save, but I back my backup goalkeeper. Like, I know that he's going to make one save like that a game. I trust him. And that ultimately, like, if you're going to be a team that's playing expansive football, that's going to happen inevitably, eventually. And so he saves me. But, the goal that, he scored, that's a wonder strike. That's not an easy goal. And to be honest, the second half, to me, it looked like Brighton just ran out of the energy to press. And once they stopped pressing us, we had our foot on their throat. It could have been more. Joe Gomez missed a header unchallenged. No one within 5 yards of him. He could have chested it down and kicked it into the corner of the net. Joe Gomez also missed a header on a corner kick. Like, we had multiple opportunities to make this 3-4, 5-1. And then obviously, we decided to go a little bit defensive at the end. I think bringing on Connor Bradley was excellent. Bringing on Endo, he did a job. Joe Gomez was immense defensively. Hopefully, Konate's not too hurt. I haven't seen any update on it. But, the biggest issue for me right now is the midfield and bypassing the press. I don't have an issue with us creating if we get to the final third. The problem is we can't get to the final third for 70 minutes of a game if we're being pressed. So, until we sort of fix that, and whether Curtis Jones is the answer, Harvey Elliott could be the answer, because Szoboszlai is, I'm not going to hear any agendas. I don't care about a pressing 10. I don't care about a defensive 10. He's shit. He cannot link a pass. He cannot start a counter. He fucks everything up. So maybe Harvey Elliott is that guy. Maybe Curtis Jones is that guy. Maybe Azubamendi is. I don't know. But I think the biggest problems with this team is bypassing the press with those 2 holding midfielders. And, there's also a huge shout out for Andrew Robertson, because eventually he's going to have to play, and then that's just going to become a whole liability.
Yeah, we can't have Mo Salah as our only outlet when teams are pressing us. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
If the only person we're relying on, Salah's exceptional, but we need to, just for the sake of variety, we need to have other options. Now, we know that playing the ball up to Nunes, sometimes he does okay, sometimes he doesn't. We need other people to contribute so we can, create opportunities off that from those positions. Because just playing out to Salah for the rest of the season is not the solution. Like, no team this season is in a perfect situation. We have our own, issues. And
that's a good point, because it's only 10 games. Like, the thing is, you can't win anything now, but you can definitely lose it. So you can use 10 games that you've lost something. Like, Man United have lost top 4. Arsenal probably lost the league, especially if they lose next week. But you can't win the league. So Liverpool haven't won the league yet. So it's a bit harsh to say, are you going to win the league now? And maybe it's 10 games. So,
just quickly about United though, I think they're only like 6 points behind. Is it?
That's what I'm saying. Again, why I say that is because more reliant on other teams than themselves. That's why I say.
Sure. Yeah. Okay,
mathematically, for example, Chelsea were 10th the whole half of last season, but we mathematically were only like 5-6 points off 4th.
Yeah.
But the reason why we can do it is because of ourselves. So it depends if you think Man United could turn it around. It's like Arsenal are only 7 points, but can you see Arsenal going and beating the rest of the season? Probably not. So probability is they're probably not going to win it. That's how it works. But I do feel like it's a bit early. So when I say Liverpool using Salah's on the outlet is an issue, I still think that'll come to fruition, because at the moment you're very reliant on him, which is not.
Once once January comes in, they bar Marmoush. I think it's going to be different. If they go, if the reports are right,
we can't deal with like then
But
it will do
the thing about this link is that it's already solid links. They aren't like rumors. You know, it's coming
Yeah,
from Germany.
Is it
that's
solid?
like,
Is it solid?
Yeah, it's solid
Yes,
from
yeah,
Germany.
I've
Yes.
heard it. I've heard it from like 4 different
It's not
people. But
only
also,
like rumors thing. You know what I mean? Like it's not like rumors. The thing about this, Shez, is that you talk about Liverpool. Mohamed Salah is the only outlet, but also when Jota was there, he was good. Gakpo, Diaz was an outlet this season. I think Diaz, since traveling the last international break, he's getting back into the fold. Today, off the bench, he looks very good. I think Liverpool
In the
have
10.
weapons, and
In the
as you said, Shez, because freaking what's his name, Van Dijk is there. That by itself is a spine. You can rely on him every game, and then you can leave things to the guys up top. You don't have to defend compact.
Can I say something on this though? Like, I get what you mean, but like, I could say something about Noni and Pedro. Like, they got comparable stats. They do well, but at the same time, I would still say we're heavily reliant on Jackson and Palmer, who are better GA than their attackers other than Salah. So I still think.
But I'm sorry, but Noni has something. Neto has weight in the team.
That's my point.
Not
That's my
everyone
point.
is gonna have. Not everyone is gonna have. Mohamed. If everyone is Mohamed Salah level or even close, will Liverpool be the best team in the world?
but the thing
I
is,
know,
I don't. The forward line, I don't even know if Marmoush is the answer, because you look at the way that we play either Jota or Darwin. We're not playing a conventional style where we're trying to get chances for the 9. Like right now, the 9's job is to parlay for the wingers. That's what you're seeing out of the 9 at Liverpool. I don't know if bringing in a new striker and changing the way that we play is going to completely, uplift us. But I mean, ultimately, we have better X factors than most other teams. Virgil van Dijk is a spine. Mohamed Salah is a spine in himself when it comes to the forward line. But I don't know if buying another forward is the answer. I really think it's just down to how we set up tactically in the midfield, and time will help Arnie make those decisions. Because also in the second half, Trent started to invert. Like Trent decided to go into the midfield to become another option, which helped bypass press of Brighton. So Brighton were tired and now had an extra body in midfield. The more Arnie learns, I'm sure the more that my opinion on what we need will change. Because ultimately, this is this guy's 10th Premier League game, and he's got 25 out of 30. Yeah. Go ahead.
Liverpool fans can't get away with this. Salah, Van Dijk, Trent, Alisson, Konate are objectively world class. City are wobbly. Liverpool are favourites.
You're entitled to your opinion. Ngoni, you're entitled to your opinion.
We're top of the league, baby. The Reds have got no money.
So far. Finish that sentence, Mike.
But we will win the league.
You know what? I feel? Literally, Liverpool fans are traumatized, bro. They're traumatized. Fine.
Of course.
Really traumatized. Hit the like button, people. Come on, guys.
That's what this weekend, man.
They're traumatized, bro. They're really traumatized. That's
what I got the end.
Bro, it's... What about the game tomorrow, Chaz? Quickly, before we end the show in 1 minute. Game tomorrow.
You can end the show now. You can end the show now. Like, you don't have to rely.
No, Ches, don't run away, Ches.
What's your prediction? Give it prediction. Prediction. That's it.
I very reluctantly said 2-1 Chelsea. The reason why, I've said it on my show. Check out my channel, Ches99, by the way. A lot of you don't know I do content. Check that out every single day lives. I've said that I haven't seen Chelsea perform well in big games for a while, or in result-wise. It's been a very long time since they've been a big 6 side. Man United last year, deflected last-minute goal. Am I really going to read into that too much? No. So for me, until we actually do that, we can play all the pretty football you want. We could look good, but if we don't get results, that speaks louder than words for me. So if I can see a good performance, good result against Arsenal,
2+ goal margin. 2+ goal margin.
This is the thing. You know what's so weird to me? Everyone has contrast views. Some people literally believe Man United will win because new manager bounce. And some people are very convinced Chelsea will win.
Bro. Man United will win.
So generally, like, it's split. It's not like I thought those people were like, Chelsea are going to win, but it's actually not the case.
It's just your record. Your record at Old Trafford, though, is what I'm looking at. There's a. I think for me,
comes alive.
For me, I think it's
2013. I know since 2013.
Yeah, Mo,
I don't think this game has 3 goals max.
So you've
3 goals maximum.
You haven't beat Manchester United at Old Trafford for 11 years. That's number one. Number two is this. I predicted a draw yesterday, and I said number two is it's more of Manchester United players feeling like we've gotten rid of the witch. It's not like new manager bounce, like what this load is off us. This Eric Ten Hag guy is no longer here. there's something new going on.
Freedom.
There's a bit of excitement for the fans. The fans are coming in shouting, "No, Eric Ten Hag. You guys have a bad record there." But I think Chelsea is that good that they will be able to at least get a draw out of it.
Those are good
Listen,
enough.
draw.
Those are good
Yeah.
enough.
If no,
Theo,
bro,
I
they
hear
have
what
to
you're
win,
saying,
bro. They have
If
to
we
win.
get a draw, I guarantee you all the Chelsea fans will be very angry. Because
Yeah.
I know you will. I'm just
Yeah.
weighing. I'm just weighing the factors that I see, and I'm saying, see, Chelsea is a very solid team, but you're going to see it's still Old Trafford. Now, there's nothing worse than going to a team when the fans are now relieved that what they've been asking for has happened. Eric Ten Hag, and now that's happened, so they are relieved, right? They're relieved. It's more of a relief. It's more of a
I-
relief.
Whatever makes people
more of a
sleep well at night, bro. Whatever
It's
makes
more-
people
it's more
sleep
of a
well at
relief
night.
than anything, it's more of a relief than them having a new manager bounce because they don't
No,
really
okay,
have a new
cool.
manager
You've
bounce. Yeah. So
I-
I think
I've
Chelsea
listened to what
is
I've
good
said.
enough to go there and really at least get something out of there.
I agree
Because
with Dale. This is what I'm saying and win. I agree with him. I'm very a lot of people saying 4-1s, 3-0s, we're gonna thrash Man United, we're gonna humble them. For me, that won't happen. And secondly,
No.
I can't have that test it if we haven't gone to an away side, big 6 away side and won. We haven't done it in a long time. I don't count Spurs because you always beat them. Poor, good side, Champions League sides, top.
And not a big
10th
side anyway. They're
That's
not a
my
big
point.
side
They're
anyway.
not a big side. So I don't really us beating them is like mid. But for me, I haven't seen us beat Liverpool away, City, United, none of these teams for a while. So why am I gonna have chess just because it's now? So I've got to be consistent. So for me, even Liverpool game, I said maximum would draw. I said we would lose. And people were like, oh, you have no chest. We lost. So that's what I'm saying. So for me, don't be surprised tomorrow if we don't win the game. And I'll be seeing the same thing again next week. With
I
Arsenal.
think you get a. I think the least that will happen is you get a point. If you don't get a point, you win.
By the way, I'm counting a draw as a loss. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I'm
yeah,
just like I
yeah.
think the worst that can happen for you guys is a draw. On the flip side, I think
Like how the mighty have fallen. Chelsea going away to Man United. Chelsea fans are counting a draw loss, bro.
but because
Wallahi, how?
yeah,
But
I mean
we
that's
love it.
11 years that you haven't won there.
But who's the mighty? Them or me? Who you trying to pass with?
That's a harsh
I'm
record.
talking about how the mighty Man United have fallen with Chelsea
Oh,
fans
yeah,
going
yeah,
to
yeah.
Old Trafford. And if they draw, they'll be angry, bro. We love it. We'll
No,
see
you'll
what
see
American-
Chelsea. You'll see Chelsea get cooked, and there'll be a meltdown online. By the way, 100%.
Bro, if you get a draw, you won't get cooked.
Dude, I'm just
It is
pissed off
what?
that we can't sing.
If
the
you
fucking
get a
song
draw
anymore.
Old Trafford, you won't get cooked.
Yes, we will, and I'll cook my team.
We'll see.
You're not getting
We'll
it.
see.
We'll cook our own team. Because how could we have all this chess saying we're going to be above Arsenal, we could push on in the league, and we still can't? The reason why we're optimistic this season, I'll tell you why, Mo, is because we beat teams like Bournemouth away, West Ham away.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
see,
the-
these games last season, Rat, we weren't doing. Do you understand that? So us doing that change is why we're more optimistic. But now if you can't beat even results against Man United and Liverpool, you played good.
All I'm going to say, hopefully tomorrow, by this
no,
time tomorrow, Man United will be 16th. Let's just hope that.
But Mo,
Oh, Mo, stop it, man.
the anomaly, not the anomaly, the question mark about this game isn't so much Chelsea, because we know Chelsea have got quality. I think so far this season they've played well enough to prove it. What we don't know, the question mark is over Man United. Is this Man United team the same Man United team that's playing under Ten Hag, or has the cloud of Ten Hag been removed? Will that give them a new lease of life? Right, that's where the question mark lies, and it's an intriguing game. Ultimately, I'm always going to go with what we've seen. What we've seen in recent times is Chelsea have good quality and United being shit. And I'll take that because obviously
We'll see how it goes.
I
But
want
listen,
United to
people,
remain shit.
But Rex, you know that for 11 years, even when United were crap, sometimes Chelsea just could not beat them at Old Trafford. When Chelsea was good and United were crap, they still could not beat them.
Only time will tell, Dio.
time
know,
will
24
tell.
hours from
Listen,
now.
people,
we only have to
well,
wait 24 hours.
I think that
24 hours. We're less than 20 likes away from 600 likes, guys. Big up everybody that was here. Constantly 1,000 people here. Plus, big up to every super chat that supported the channel. Stay here. Don't go anywhere. Because now HUSAM has Griggs, Martin, bro. He has a panel for you guys over there with George, who's going to cook Arsenal and Vator, of course. But all these guys' channels, Banter on the Pitch, Shez is going live daily now on his channel. So go out, check his channel, of course. And everyone's present. Patrick, of course, True City fan, was here with us. Jay as well. So big up everybody that joined us. Stay here. Don't go anywhere because the entertainment never stops. Go to HUSAM now. Raid. And it's going to be fantastic there. Great show with Vator, Martin, and Marshall. We'll see you guys there. I'll be on the chat. And I'm out of here, people.